Welcome, guys. Welcome. It's Fortress Friday. Yes, it's Friday, and so we play Dwarf Fortress. And so we've got our zombie fortress sort of ready to go. So yeah, welcome. I feel like I've forgotten to do something with my setups for both Twitch and YouTube. So welcome, guys, if you are watching on either of those platforms. I'm guessing right now it'll be practically zero people watching because I've only just started. But anyway, watching this, if you're watching this later on, welcome. All right, so we've got our zombie fortress. There was something I needed to do here as well. There's something I thought, oh, I need to fix something up. I guess it'll just come up over the course of what we're doing. This is our grand entrance, just this one little area with a marmot corpse sort of plastered to the front of... Is this one locked? Let's have a quick bit of a look and see. Yeah, it is forbidden at this stage. So why would we forbid this? So we've got wood outside. We may have to open this up. We've got a little way down, then we come through this door. We come back up. We've had zombie problems, as you can sort of see, with the piles of vomit and turkey blood and so on and so forth and through here. We did actually have some blocks up in this way. This was going to be for building an entrance at one stage. We're no longer doing that as such. We then go back down into this area. So we have, this is like almost like an air, what's it called? Like, you know, where you've an airlock. Where if something comes up a staircase and reaches into a floor hatch that happens to be forbidden, like that, then nothing can get up there, nothing at all. So it's a very secure way of securing your fortress. So you know, before you start to sort of get like the I prefer the big I was going to say roller doors, but I prefer the big drawbridges to be the way that we do that. Anyway, eventually this will all be blocked off because this is not where we're going to have our main entrance. But we've still got a lot of things we need to then go and build. At the moment, yeah, we've had zombie problems in here, but we fixed that in the last episode. We found a way around trying to get that one under control. We still have an issue here. Now, there was a suggestion last time that with Bjolf's mangled corpse, because Bjolf keeps on being thrown away essentially, and then brought back, and so it's never really buried properly. But the thought was to ditch this particular burial chamber and then start again. And I think that's a good idea. We'll start to be able to prepare that in the fortress. So we'll go and have a bit of a look to see where we are. This is mainly just a starting area for us, so that we can at least just get going at the initial part of the game to be able to bring resources in from up top. So that's pretty much where that is. We just keep on going down through. We then built an area through here. We do have we found Aquifer in here. If you just go and click on these, you can sort of see there's Aquifer in the corner there. These have been smoothed out, so they're no longer affected by the aquifer, but there's actually aquifer in behind it. So this was the top layer of that part of the aquifer. And then down through here, we then found that there was heaps of aquifer. So we've actually got ourselves like a channeling back through us. I'll keep this on while we have a look at the aquifer. So there's no aquifer there, that's all okay. And then we hit aquifer. And so this is still filling up. So this is quite deep, like as we sort of go down layer by layer by layer. We've got a lot of aquifer layers back down in this other side, down to that layer there. So we've got a very, very deep well, essentially, down into this particular region. And so so we've got that central area there. So the well is really where we've got, you know, that's what's supplying our hospital, etc., etc. So we do actually have that one. I think we can even build wells above that if we had to. Like if we absolutely had to, we could go above it and do it. Anyway, let's continue on down through the fortress itself. We then end up with a central staircase which goes back up and down. Let's go down because that's where we started. We were looking for a cavern because we had animals that we had to try to protect. So if I keep on going back down through this one, again we hit the aquifer layer here is it? We've got siltstone there. Then we hit it here, and I've had to smooth out the walls back in through this other side. So as we then sort of go back down, this is all aquifer. There is a little bit of magnetite across this wall, which just means it's got an ore in it. So I think it's saying 4 minutes only and one viewer. I think Twitch is being silly. I'm not sure. Hi Nissi as well, and there's Chiller Whale is also there. I'm seeing a few numbers. I get a delayed action basically for viewership You know, I don't I can't schedule because I stream when I wake up, and I wake up at irregular times. Hi, group of Vukik saying, Daz, I just landed on a weird map with a heavy aquifer, and it had one layer of aquifer at the top, and then 20 layers down were caves with another three levels of aquifer. Wow. Okay, heavy aquifer. You're in for a difficult trot. With a heavy aquifer, that makes it hard. Even this, I've got to say, even this light aquifer that we've got, and with the game, and I don't know if it's DF hack or the base game now that shows you a light aquifer has got 2 droplets, a heavy aquifer has got 3 droplets, and so a heavy aquifer is very, very, very difficult. So Compelled to Die saying, Howdy, can you talk about Endless Legend 2 yet? I can talk about it now, yes. The embargo is off as of yesterday, but I haven't actually played it properly. I've played it just for a little bit. So I actually can't say whether I even like it or not. I don't know, like I'm a bit... my initial reaction was it seems very similar to the first one, which is not a bad thing. It's just that I'm not seeing a real lot of innovation with it, to be honest, just from the small amount that I have played. But I do want to have a bit of a better look. Yeah, so Chiller Whale saying, yeah, heavy aquifers are just no. I agree with you. I think it's too much. So Gianna's Photos saying, this dude rocks. Thank you for that. So heavy aquifers are not what we want to be finding. Light aquifers are fine, like we can just sort of dig our way through. So we were sort of rushing at this stage to dig our way down. This is all useless to us, this particular area, because the aquifer is in it. So unfortunately, all this magnetite that we find here is in amongst the aquifer. So really can't do much with that one, unfortunately. Like there's still, maybe we could do something with it, but I don't think so. And then we finally sort of come back down, and that seems to be the end of the aquifer in about here somewhere. We can sort of see the aquifer is still pushing. We're getting a shape of where the aquifer actually is from what we can sort of see with where we got to in here. And at this point, we're then safe. And so we've started to build a bedroom layer down here. So we're a fair way down in the fortress with the bedrooms, and we've only just. I've really got to build more of those as well. So this is now going to be something we need to action. That's something we have to have a bit of a look at. Things I was saying, oh, that's good. I was hoping for just a modernised EL1, to be honest. Didn't quite like humankind. Yeah, I think. Look, I'm confident it's going to be good, but not. I don't know if it's going to be great. That's I guess is the thing. Compelled to Die saying, hope it's good. Endless Legend 1 was one of the most unique 4X games I've come across. And I think that, look, and just to put my my own sort of take on that, I prefer fantasy games that are traditional Lord of the Rings type, where you've got elves and dwarves and stuff like that. So that's what I gravitate to personally. And I know that that's a bit of a bit of something that I do prefer to have personally, which is and when you've got something like Endless Legend, which is actually a bit more nuanced. I mean, this is where the French aspect of fantasy actually kicks in, which I do respect. It's just not what I personally love to play. But I do respect it. It's sort of like similarly with the other sort of romance type languages and stuff, the fantasy that they produce, like Pan's Labyrinth and things like that. I really, really like the idea of it. It's just not what I gravitate to. So I'm very, very boring and traditional in my fantasy tropes, which is not great, I guess. Anyway, that's just the way it goes. But I haven't played much of it. I just have not had time, unfortunately. I started to play it a little bit to see what it was like. It was fine, but it was. I just haven't been able to get to it yet. I will be able to over the coming days, I hope. So I'm hoping I get a bit of a chance to have a crack at it at that point. All right, let's continue on with our tour. So this bedroom we've got 15 population, but we've only got 7 bedrooms, or actually we've got 10 bedrooms. So we're sort of nearly there. One thing I want to experiment with is using the layout module, like the layout aspect of DFHack. So I'll have to reacquaint myself with that. They're still building up this layout, so maybe I don't have to rush with that one. But there is a way of getting like a blueprint and then copy the blueprint into different areas of the fortress, which I think will be good. Yes, so Gripvik is saying that heavy aquifers are easy. Always looking for a map with aquifer if there isn't a river on the map. It takes about a month to breach one layer. Yeah, you're landing on evil biomes and saying aquifers are hard. Well, they're just I enjoy them. I enjoy playing them, but not to broadcast because it's heavy aquifers. As you said before, they take so long to break through with your pumps and so on and so forth. And particularly if they go multiple layers, it's then like for doing an actual for showing it, it's too long, too long in one area. So Marcus Strap saying I'm not sharing a room with Klingzog. Yes, I wouldn't either. Actually, Klingzog's has Klingzog got any relationships? Just while we're doing this, again, this is a DasDemption game, so there's our stonecutter here, smoothing the floor at the moment. So if we go across to Klingzog and just have a bit of a look, what's the relationships? There's no coloured ones in here. Oh, yes, there are. Passing acquaintances. Yeah, no one's really friendly with Klingzog, so you are safe, Munkerstrap. What about the others? Who else have we got? If we look at Munkerstrap there, the miner, going off for a drink at the moment. So this one here with his relations. Red Shirt is the lover there. A close friend with Supreme Plague, close friend with Sev, kindred spirit with Atomic Ant, close friend with Cause Lord, and close friend with the new Beolf. No, hang on, that's the old Beolf. That's the dead Beolf, that one there. So that's that Beolf has already died. Cygnus has subscribed. Thank you very, very much for that one. Very, very much appreciated. So anyway, we'll just continue on with our little tour. Now, where did we get to? We got to... I'm way up the top again. Right at the top, let me just go back down to this bedroom layer. At this bedroom layer, we then actually had to try to figure out our way through, so we ended up sort of digging down. Now, I've got to clean all this up, make all this sort of nice and structured. In this instance, we then actually have another trap down this way, and this trap then leads into a large... sort of like this is a refuse pile, and then we can throw dead bodies out into this area. You can see there's miasma down here, so we've got miasma sort of first, and there's heaps of dead things that have been thrown out this way simply because they become zombies again. And so yeah, at some point we may try to clean this up, but at this stage it literally is just chuck all your rubbish out here, all the dead things, and then they become zombies. We don't care because we've locked that off. So that's down that way. In through here is our workshop layer. So our main workshops are now sort of working in this area. Do we actually have that one there? Why is that? It doesn't need to be locked for whatever reason. I'll just go and unlock those so they can just get out of the way. This layer here has got an up-down stair. The upstair, I haven't built this yet, but this will become like the major stockpile for everything that's built in the workshops. And then down below, this will ultimately be where we end up having all of the raw goods like the stone and the and everything like that. So we've got things like lignite. We do want to move this into an area as well where we can actually then use the lignite to help us build a furnace area, like for doing forging of metal and forging of weapons and armor. We also have just temporarily our trade depot here. We had to get this one set up for autumn, and so this was the only big area that we had left in the fortress that was sort of viable for that. So we had set this one up. The traders have now gone, so they've now all left, which means that I can pull this apart if I need to. We've got 2 years where they come into the fortress just with either camels or horses or whatever, which means that they can just use the stairs. But then after 2 years, they start to come with wagons, which means that you have to have like a ramp to go into this location. So by that stage, we've got a year essentially to make use of this one before we then have to destroy it and then make something that the actual wagons can access. So by that stage, we have to be up top and with a bit of a presence outside. Klingzog's saying, is there anything you can do with dead person's clothing? Oh, that's it's an interesting question. I think that it just becomes available, but I may be wrong about that. I know that it's sort of I don't think it's owned by the dead person once they die, so I think it just becomes available just for everyone to use. But I'm not sure. I'm now thinking, is that something a DF hack does, or is that something the base game does? I just don't know. So anyway, let's continue on down through the list through here. As we sort of come back down deeper into the fortress, we then actually hit this layer here, which is actually, you can see there's a bit of mud. This is actually where we ultimately had ended up with, when we were digging through the aquifer. I had like one square here that was completely full of water. And so to make use of it, what we then thought we'd do is actually dig out. I was going to dig out this side just so I could drain the water into this area and then actually flood it so we could actually then make use of it. Like if you're... and we didn't know that we were this close to the... this is actually where we're throwing all the dead bodies out. But this is... we didn't realise we were this close to the actual... to this layer. We actually missed this layer when we came here. And it was only when I started to actually build this area, like sort of late-ish in the piece, that I then found this particular layer. But before, we were looking for the layer. And so in this instance, we've now put we've now locked this off as our bottom layer. This then all flooded. So you can see there's still a bit of a pile of mud on the floor, but it allowed us to pick up these farm plots. And again, DF hack is just managing the farm. I'm not doing anything at all, and so nothing in there at the moment. But they will then make, like, we've got a bit of food, bit of drink, some seeds there waiting for them to plant. And so they'll just, if you don't do anything, if you've got DF hack on, and you don't actually do anything with the farm plots, that DF hack will manage the farm plots for you. So I'm not doing anything at this stage. I'm just letting it do its thing. And so that is essentially our growing area. As we came down, we then thought, okay, well, let's go and start to dig down and see if we can find another layer. And remember, we hadn't found this yet. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone any further. But I dug down to here and then started digging down at this location. And so this location, we ended up finding the cavern layer here. So we came out on top of this particular mushroom. And so that then, rather than go back and try to sort of fix it all up, because once we got to there, we could then sort of see that there was actually an access point that we'd have access to a bit further down. And so we ended up digging down this way instead. We've now locked all this area off. This is just one thing you can do, which is quite helpful, is look at the mini-map when you've actually got like an underground layer, because it is a valuable location for us to... to be able to use. And so if we go and have a look at at this layer itself, when it's this grey colour, it means we're on the ground level. If you see blue, it means that it's going down a layer. So what we want to find is we want to go to an area that's sort of like got nothing above it, like it's actually solid rock above it. And when we come down from the solid rock, we're then finding the grey colour, not the blue colour. So if I go right back up to the top of where we found things, you'll see that it's all just blue because it's multiple layers. And so to try to find solid rock, I can sort of then start to sort of see that solid rock there. What are we going to find there? We find an area, but unfortunately it's still got blue sort of interspersed with it. So the only real good location for us was actually where we are, which is right here. So that's the, in terms of just a one layer. The reason that's important is because we want to be able to block it off with, with rocks or with blocks to create like a walled-in area. That then gives us an area that the animals can then go and live in. And also our farms. We can actually then build a farm there if we wanted to as well. So Cygnus says redeemed name a character. Okay, so when one is available. I don't know if I've got any available yet. Let me have a look through the list. No, they've all gone at the moment. But I'm confident we're going to be building up a reasonably large fortress. So that's not a worry. I'll just leave that one in there. I don't think I've got anything left in the... I'll just go and have a quick look. If I just go and click on that and bring back in some line text. I've got one name. So I've got like a text file here from any DasDemptions that do come in. So I'll put Cygnus in there as well. Just until the dwarves actually then come into the actual into what we're doing. All right, so that's cool. Hi Syrian, how you going? Okay, so anyway, that's sort of what we have in through here. Let's go back. I've been trying to think of what I need to do. This is the bottom of the fortress so far for us. And what we were finding was we kept on having different incursions. This is why we've got troglodytes that are dead outside in that top layer. Eventually, after we did all this, because I was rushing trying to find a grazing area for the animals, and so we brought the animals down here at that point before we had found the top layer. And so as I come back up, I don't think I found anything down below. Yeah, I haven't gone any deeper than this. But so this is all we've actually really sort of found at this point in time. So and we haven't opened this up at all. Like if we're wanting to get trees, I need to have multiple Z layers. So that's actually another thing we can then go and do, is when we have a look at this layer or the layer above, let's just go to the layer above. This layer here, for example, with these in through here, it was only after that I was then, after I got the animals outside, it was insecure, but it then allowed these troglodytes to, you can see Drunians and troglodytes, essentially they then came into the fortress, and they're not considered dangerous until they become dangerous. And so I'm not going to let that happen again. We've now sort of, we've kept this open, we've locked this one just so nothing can fly up this way. So that's actually been completely locked off. So we are secure here at the moment, but this is not an ideal way of managing what we've got. But this is like an interesting area for the simple reason that we actually have like a largish area that has got like a big area above it. And when we have a look at it, we can see that it's solid rock all the way up, really. So if we can find little choke points with what we're doing, and we can't see beyond this, but if we can find an area with multiple Z layers, it allows us to then have a tree farm, and we don't actually have access to that yet. The other thing we could do, sort of, would be to go down to the layer that we've got and then dig from the top and create like an area with just channel down into like a large area. It'd be a pain in the bum doing it though, to be honest. So I'm not going to do it, but that way we could form our own extra Z layers in that particular pocket. And we need about 3 or 4 layers really to be able to then get. You can see these mushrooms here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 6 high, so they're monsters. And this one here is going even further. So this particular, what's this, fungi wood? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 7 goes all the way to the top. And there's a lot of wood from this into here. So if I can find an area that's safe for me to do this, to lock it off, like this one here is interesting. No, it's not all that interesting really, because it locks off nicely there, but then as we go back down, it then opens up massively here. So if I can find an area where there's a choke point, like this is interesting, because we sort of could actually make use of that little bit of channeling. But see how it's 5 layers of trying to lock this off. So it's a long-term prospect to sort of go and do that. It may be easier to just find a one depth layer, and unfortunately we're just not seeing it. We just happened to luck out and be right in the very, very middle of of that when we just missed it. I was looking for it and I missed it. But anyway, it is there, but it's an awkward one for us to try to then go and make use of. Having said that, I could actually go out and create, like I was thinking of creating an entrance in here at some point, where we end up with a drawbridge, and sort of coming back out into this zone, which then means we have to do something different with this. And in fact, what we could do here is actually make an atom smasher for this particular process. We might even do that this session. Okay, so we'll just keep on going. We'll go back up the top now of the fortress. So at the top, what I wanted to do is, I'm thinking I prefer to be central. This also then makes the fortress more difficult for the simple hang on, this layer here. So where did we get to? We got to the well layer. So this is our current entrance into the fortress. So then we go up, and the reason for this is we've now planned the top of the fortress. This was actually, I think we were looking for Aquifer there, to see if there's any Aquifer problems, and there was nothing. So we knew that we were pretty safe from this point up. And so in this instance, because we're now underneath a bit of a mountain, actually while I see that, I'll just go and resume construction. There was something in the way there. Our turkeys have been killed off by the zombies, and we're down to just 2 of them. We've got Mammofath. Now, I don't know if you can see, it has had an interesting history. This is actually a pet. So you can see through here, so this is the military history of this particular pet turkey, who's done incredible things here. So we've got a troglodyte head bites the turkey hen in the lower body. So this is one of the troglodytes came back to life and attacked. The head of this troglodyte came back to life and attacked the turkey hen, and the turkey hen actually, I think, manages to kill it or something. Yeah, it's. Turkey hen bites the troglodyte mutilated corpse and lower. This is a different one again. So anyway, it's it's got a troglodyte head, then it's got a troglodyte mutilated corpse that it's dealing with. Then it's dealing with a chinchilla corpse. So and you can see there the chinchilla corpse comes back to life and then attacks the turkey. All the other turkeys died except for this one and one other. And anyway, chinchilla corpse is backing through there, charging at it. Got stunned. Okay, so the chinchilla corpse attacks again. The turkey hen latches on firmly. Chinchilla corpse is unable to break the grip. Yeah, there we go. So it's chinchilla corpse bites the turkey, the 4th toe. The attack lances away, etc., etc. It just goes on and on and on. That's all chinchilla corpses. What else is it fought? It's fought all sorts of things. It's actually been pretty badly damaged at different points. Yes, it's different. These will all be different chinchilla corpse. There we go. Another troglodyte mutilated corpse. Just the chinchilla head bites the turkey hen in the head, denting the skin. So and then it sort of goes down to the bottom through here. Another one with a troglodyte mutilated corpse. At this point, we had to fix up the troglodyte problem. The zombie troglodyte problem was not a bad problem for our group, but it's a bad problem for the combat, etc., etc. So it then became a bit of a priority to set this one up. So we've happened to have a stray turkey gobbler also managed to survive. It didn't have anywhere near the damage that was being done to the others, but the others all got killed off by the zombies. So they're essentially now in this safe area. She will then lay eggs, so Mammofath will then sort of lay the eggs. And whose pet is that one, by the way? This is orangutan's pet. So this is came into the fortress with orangutans. So if you have a look at her health and then description. Oh no, we're not seeing it. There's no scarring even after all of that. There's no scarring. She is fine. Hi Syrian, how are you going? And Dwarf saying hello dwarfs. And so the great turkey troglodyte zombie war of 2025. Yes, indeed it was. So we're still in the first year of the fortress with everything that's going on. So anyway, that's so we lost all the other turkeys that we came with. Turkeys were considered to be safe because if they became zombies, our guys could look after them. They could damage them. Also, they provide leather. So you can actually get leather, and you also then get eggs. So turkeys are probably the best of the poultry type animals you can bring along with you, and not just because it's a zombie area. They really are. But the fact that they can have leather, you can butcher them for leather, is butcher them for food and leather. Like if you do it with you don't get the leather with chickens, but you do with turkeys. So in fact, we may even have some. There's a tanner shop there. I think we've got turkey leather that was gotten from there, but I'm not seeing anything when I hover over there. So I don't think there's anything that's actually in there at this stage. So anyway, that's the, they will then, and if we have a look at this, at where we are, we've got a nest box with 11 fertile eggs. So by having the male and female, we can then fertilize the eggs, and that will then form the start of our hatchery. So we'll end up with going back and like we had 5 turkeys at the start. Id came along as a pet, so we had 6 turkey hens with 1 turkey gobbler, and then we lost the original 5, but we luckily had Id, and so now we can rebuild. We can rebuild our turkey industry, and so that's an important one that you can bring. That's actually a good little tip if you are trying to bring animals. You can get leather from turkeys, not much, but you can still get some. So it makes them a bit more valuable than just a hen. Over through here, we've got our butcher and our tanner. I'll just go back down a little bit deeper. Down through here, we've got our food making. So we've got like the still back and through here. You can see the Monka straps there working away at the still. We have a kitchen down this way as well. And then we have a farmer's workshop at the bottom here. One thing I haven't done is set up my, like all of the stockpiles properly for any of this. On the other side, we've got our clothing. So we've got a loom, and the loom will then automatically ask the dwarves to go out and find webs and so on and so forth. We've locked off the outside at this stage. We've got a clothier shop. This is where, when they run out of, because we've got DF hack, when their clothing needs to be updated, they'll come and make their own clothes. So as long as we've got thread and cloth. The loom will also then make cloth as well. And then finally, we've got a leather works down through this other side. You can see there's actually a spattering of Syrian's dwarven blood. There was actually a troglodyte head, I think, or arm or something that made its way in here and attacked Syrian. So I don't know if we've got no one that's left that's injured. If we have a look at Syrian, because that was only just recently, I think. That was sort of like fairly late in the piece. There he is, the woodcutter, or there she is. Smoothing walls at this point in time. A bit angry, I think, after what actually happened there. So if we go and have a look and see her health and then description. You can see there, she's only just had a bit of a problem through here. So her thumb right hand is broken, her thumb right hand is smashed open, her left finger, left hand is broken, her third finger, yeah. So basically her hand has had problems. Her head is dented. When it's dented, it means scarred. So there's now scarring. Her right floating ribs is fractured. So she's actually had a bit of a problem, and so she's down here, sort of getting the main area sort of dug out for everyone. If we have a look and see her history, we can then sort of see that at the end there, troglodyte mutilated corpse was again attacked her as well. So these zombie corpses have been rampant with everything that's going on. So she certainly has had issues, and so she actually got not badly injured, but she did get injured. So if I just go back to Syrian again, where is Syrian? There she is. If we go and have a look at the items, we should then start to see there's lots of this is all the stitching. So this is into her floating ribs, lower arm, thumb, the fingers, left hand, more into the left hand. So a lot of damage done to the left hand. So she's got all of this is actually just the stitches that she's got. Plus she's got bandaging in through here. She's got a splint on her right lower arm, which must have been broken. And she's got gypsum plaster around her left hand, so her hand is now set in plaster. I love how detailed this game is. It's just incredible. Anyway, that was one of the things that happened at the last fun time that we had, and that's when we then made Began in charge of clearing dead bodies, and so Began has been sort of clearing them out. If 5 Angry Dwarves is bad, it's very bad. We was 6. Yeah, this is really not healthy. Nothing much I can do about it. What I was doing in here, this is going to be our main meeting hall, and then here I forgot what I was going to do in this location, but they're sort of making this into the major area. I'll allow them to continue doing the smoothing, because now that while they've got nothing else to do at this stage, so that's actually all okay. This was going to be where everyone meets, but I was thinking I'm going to need to get actually that's the top layer at the moment. We sort of haven't got any further up yet. We've got 2 more layers to then hit the surface. So what we're doing here is we're trying to get an area where we can get different blocks back up into here, ready to build the castle at the top, and so that will become important ultimately. So this block stockpile will be for feeding the building process here once we actually get them full, and we need to get bins in here. So there's no bins that have been made just yet. We need to get wood as well, to be honest. So wood is actually also a problem. All right, so back in through here. Actually, one of the reasons we've got the top unlocked is that you'll notice on the top here is all this goo, this abhorrent goo, and this is also affecting their mood if they go outside and get the goo on them. Like they started off out here. Who's that? Chinchilla corpses and stuff. Yeah, so we started off with the goo, and so the goo is part of the evil biome that we have, and so that's also another thing we have to contend with. So ultimately, I need to try to get them all friendly and happy before we sort of really let the goo, before we let them go up top, and then we have to sort of pretty much keep them locked in. This here is going to ultimately be a barracks for our military, and so most of our guys, most of our military are quite unhappy, so we need to get that established pretty quickly as well. In fact, we might just do that now. So so we'll go and put the beds in, and like they're still building the beds, unfortunately. So like the bedroom layer still has not been done. Let's just go and place furniture. So in this case, I'm going to go and just get like a row of beds. So and I've got the planner on. 8, 9, 10. I'll just go that way. Just put all the beds in there at this stage. I'm just going to make a single training area for this particular military, and so I'm keeping this at the top of the fortress because ultimately that's where they're going to be fighting from. So they're going to be mainly sort of accessing the top to then go and meet things outside. That's what the assumption is. It could even be the opposite. It could be down below, but let's just leave it here for now. So that's going to be where that is. Then we're going to bring in other furniture. So to bring in like in fact, what I can do is I can create a zone to start with. So if I go to place zones, so zones are areas that are designated for specific things in your fortress. And so in this case, we've got the barracks. So a dormitory should include multiple beds, but will not belong to a particular citizen. We need to get that established as well, probably down in the bedroom layer. But the barracks squad should be assigned to a barracks. The squad can be set to train, sleep, and store equipment there. So that's the parameters that we end up having. So if we go into the barracks, we go and create a barracks in this zone here. And so that's now been established. We'll just go and accept. And if there's things that it needs, it will then tell you what's going on through here. So we can either name it, so assign a new or existing location to this zone. Locations are groups of zones and rooms with a larger purpose, like a tavern, a temple, a library, or a craft guild hall. We don't need that for a barracks. What we do need is choose which squads will use this barracks. And so it's going to be the Magical Murder is the only squad that we actually have. And what are they going to do here? They are going to sleep here. They're going to train here. They're going to, and this is one of the problems they've had, they've got nowhere to train. They're going to assign their weapons and armor there as well, and they're going to like have squad level equipment here, such as ammunition. So everything is basically just coming from this one room. Usually I would actually build 2 rooms, one for sleeping and one for training, but in this case, just for expediency, we'll just put them all in there. We can always change it again later on if we decide to. So that's all of those have now been ticked on. So we still need to have whether they have their weapons and armor here. So we need to have armor racks, we need to have weapon stands, and we also then need to have like this in through here where we can then store ammunition and other things as well. So what I'll do now is they can sort of share multiples of some of the others, but I'm going to keep a largish area in the middle. So let's just go and build a group of coffers, like maybe just a handful of coffers in this area. So we'll just go back into building. So that's the end of the zones, and we'll go to the furniture. And so in this case, we just want some chests. And again, I'll just keep it in planning mode. We're a little bit behind with everything. We'll just put 3 chests down through there. Let's now go and put some armor stands and weapon racks in as well. So we'll just go across. We've only got 3 of them at the moment, but we're just making it ready for when it is full, when this military is going to be fairly large. So just go back into furniture. Actually, if we go to military, you can see down through here we've then got things like the weapon racks and armor stands. So weapon racks, I'll just go and place one there and one there. I'll place one there and one there. 4 would be enough in this room. And then we'll get armor stands. And we have 3 of these available. 3. Actually, I'll put them there. So that will then give me a largish area in the middle of the room. Even though we've got rocks there at this stage, I might go through and just manually clean up the rocks as well. So that's got those. That's essentially that. Once that's all been built, that will then be fine. I won't go through, and I did one thing I did mean to do before I started recording, actually, was to open up the work orders and just see if there's anything missing. It's a big long list that we actually have through here, but I just wanted to see if there was anything that we needed to add to the list. And it's unfortunately you can't really sort of, there's the armor stands, there should be weapon racks as well there somewhere as well, I would imagine. Yeah, there it is there. So these are sort of these are just going to be coming through, sort of being auto built over time. So we can also just go in and tell them to build certain things. Marcus Chap saying we're dwarves, we fear no goo. Well, the trouble is it does make them unhappy. So that's going to then make at least that happier. So we've just set up that particular zone. This is our, as I said before, our dining room. I'm going to override this a little bit with, we're now starting to get a bit of engraving. So this is Falcons is our engraver. So this is design image of Rami Umbridge's the Flowery, the troll. Rami Umbridge's the Flowery is whatever it is. Anyway, let's not worry about that one. Let's just continue on until we have time to do this. I know I need to get a temple built as well, like just a general temple. And I'm thinking that I must have put it on this layer. Like that's, maybe that is for a temple. I don't think it is though, because I think it may be for food storage. With what we like, so we can actually just eat. No, it's gonna. This is gonna ultimately be our levers, our lever room. So what I might do is, I've got to remember that this is a lever room. One thing you can do is actually use the like you can actually just write lever or something on there, in each block, just in what is it, in blueprint mode. But that's actually important for this one here. As we come back down further deeper into it, this is our hospital layer, and so this one here we actually don't have access, and this one here we need to smooth as well. This will be actually our main hospital. And I do want this smoothed. Oops. I'll just start off with one half, and then we'll open up the other half as we get bigger. In fact, I could possibly even just make it like four rooms would be enough initially. So I might even just do that. Just so we have like a limited area. But we want this to be a fairly happy and friendly place, so that's why we're sort of doing this. One thing we don't actually have access to is water. Now let's just go back down and just see, is there a, that's the well there. Now we can build, oops, hang on, where are we? From there, we could actually build a well that goes all the way through. I think it was just luck more than anything that I managed to do that. Well, let's do that. Let's go and make this into a well layer here. Now, one thing I'm not 100% sure, this one here, sorry. One thing I'm not 100% sure about is if you can share the wells. I think you can, but I'm not 100% about that one. Let's just go and dig out the layer above is there. So that's ultimately going to be that layer there. So we want to get a 5 by 5. All right, and at that point, I don't really want to have. I just want to have one central staircase. So I don't really want to be building more staircases down in here. But I will actually still make use of the fact that that's going to be a staircase in there as well. So in this instance, we're going to channel this one down. So that will be a channel. This one here will be a staircase that then goes down from there to there. So it's only a few layers that we have to do this with. And in essence, all I really need to do here is just go and have like a channel that then gets built. So it's going to channel there, and then it comes back out here. Hang on, I didn't do channel. And at that point, I'm going to just keep that so that it's like that. Will, when the channel comes down, it'll just do it anyway. I don't need the big opening with this one, so that's enough for that. So I'll just leave it like that, I think. And that way when they dig it, I'll just let them sort of do their digging now. So we'll unpause. I don't think there's anything else we needed to do. So this here is red shirt. Now coming back up again. So we now actually have a safe zone to then be able to go and place. Now we've got a bit of kaolinite on the bottom there, but that's okay. So we'll now just go and dig a channel down. And then we'll see if we can actually build a well here. Now, if it ends up that we can't use the, like if the well is then a problem, like because it's got to go through the other well, and I think you can have multiple wells on the one layer. So if that does become a problem, then we'll relook at that. But that's and we'll probably get rid of the well underneath. Just wait until that one comes down. There we go. And now we can actually see that this well is actually in use at this point in time. I think actually, where was it? I don't know if we can do it, but let's just see if we can actually do it there. So if we go into build, so for this one we need like mechanisms, buckets, and blocks to actually build the well. So if we just go back into construction, this will be under machines and fluids. There's the well. So place the well in an open space above water to provide a relatively safe area for your citizens to draw water. Requires mechanisms, blocks, a chain or a rope, and a bucket. So there we are. Now we've got one bucket available now, one chain available now, 21 mechanisms available. So we're sort of now, this is the last thing we can actually then go and build. We do have 4 hostiles still in the map. We've got these trolls. This is a troll hand. There's a chinchilla up the top. 3 chinchillas. There's a troll that's also down below as well, a mutilated troll, undead troll, that we do have to be a bit careful of. So I'm just going to leave that one where that one is. Striking kaolinite. Kaolinite is a clay, and so I don't really want to be doing much with that. Orangutans cancels. Prefer easy meal. Needs unrotten cookable solid item. We might fix that up as well. So if we just go back in, if we go into the food making, what do we need here? Make. Where was the meals? This is where I wish we could. There it is. Easy meals. Now we've got 7 of 10 prepared there anyway. Let's have a look and see what we've got. The amount of unrotten prepared meals is less than 20. They need to make another 10. So that's all we've got satisfying this one at this point in time. If we've got the unrotten cookable solid items is greater than 10, let's just go and add that one in. And see, this is not satisfied. Let's just go through and make it so that it is essentially at least 10. So, but we probably only want about 5 there. So I'll just change the number to 5. So if you haven't used this before, it just means that you can automate what happens here. So what we're doing is if we've got less than 20 meals, like if they've eaten all the meals and there's less than 20, then we need to actually then get we need to then sort of go and start making more. In this case, I might have to change it to 10 actually, because we're making 10 meals. In fact, it's probably going to ultimately end up being more than that. So that's solid items. Yeah, that's okay. We'll just go that way. That way we won't get that trigger. So when we get these cookable solid items, it's not satisfied for the next check. Even though it says we've got food up through there, we can see what's happening with the food, like what is the food that we actually have. So if we go and just press escape there, we shouldn't get that message anymore. So this one here is the problem is that there's been told to go and cook the meal, and then actually gone and had a look and think, oh, hang on, we don't have anything to use with that one there. So I'll just go and right click on that one just to get rid of it. So we shouldn't have that message come up anymore. The if we go and have a bit more of a look at the we've got the food in through here. If I go to the stocks and go to food, so I just come back down through. When you've got a manager, the food then will allow. Actually, it's not going to help me, is it? Where's food? We've got this very specific the things we have. So we've got these are fertile. We can't use them. So they're going to ultimately become. You see there that DFHack is automatically locking these down. So these can't be used because we don't have enough turkeys in our fortress to So DFHack is saying, there's 11 eggs, but you're not allowed to use them. You can't eat them, and so that's just automatically happening with DFHack. DFHack is such a great thing. Now, what else is there that food would be under? I'm going to have to go through item by item, I think. Blocks, body parts, 7 there. These are these aren't food. They're not considered food. Cheese, none. That is food. Corpses, we've got heaps of corpses. Yeah, the eggs would be food typically, but in this case they're locked away. Fish, none. We don't have anywhere to fish. Floodgates. Well, we do actually technically. We could actually go and open up an area underground to do some fishing. Floodgates too. I wonder if that's worth doing. Just food food is okay at this stage. Leaves and fruit, none of that. We've got nothing we can do there. Mechanisms, plants, prepared meals. We've only got 3 prepared meals left. These are turkey meat biscuits. So when the turkeys got killed by the zombies, our guys went through and actually butchered them immediately. So we managed to sort of get turkey meat. So we've got the prepared meal through there. Meat, we've got none left. So we've got pretty much only got the turkey meat biscuits is all we've got left. So we're going to get we've got heaps of remains. Yep, we don't eat them. Seeds, we've got 48. These are plump helmets and so on and so forth. Actually, we don't have even plump helmets. This is not good. Actually, no, we do have plump helmets. Now the plants, they need other things to go along with the plants. We may have to. They will eat the plump helmets, so we don't have to really worry too much about those. So these are. So that's what's going to save us. But they would prefer to have biscuits. Wouldn't you prefer to have your turkey meat biscuits or just raw plump helmets? So plump helmets is pretty much all we've got in terms of the actual food. Our quarry bush is there as well. So we do actually. That's really all that they're going to be eating at this point in time until we get some other items. And that's pretty much everything from that side as well. So yeah, so we are on subsistence meals at this point in time. Anyway, that's where that is. Let's go and let's just go and unpause the game and just let them do their thing. We'll just look for more hostiles. Everything's pretty secure at this stage. What I can do is just go down into the fortress and lock away some of the other elements that we actually have. Now we've got certain things we'll just resume construction when we see something that's not actually being constructed properly. It's raining more goo outside. The nest box has been completed. The rock grates have been completed. So we've just got certain things we're now building up. Oh, here we go. We've got a thieving or mischievous creature. So we've got a giant rat. Now this can't get in because we've completely locked off. This zone here is where our stuff is. As we go down. So even if it walks across, it's not going to be able to find anything. Like it's not going to be able to get inside here. So even though it's a thieving creature, it can't actually do anything. We've got 5 hostiles now. Oh, here we go. We've now got a zombie, a troglodyte mutilated corpse has come back to life in amongst. So we did actually manage to throw them out. They've come back to life here again. So this is one that we've killed multiple times. This is one of the, I guess, the antagonists that have been killing off our turkeys. So he's outside now, and he will just sit there and do nothing. Now we can certainly attack these. Like these are easy for us to deal with. I'm thinking of building this once we sort of get a few things done. There's no fighting going on. Here we go. We're now building. It's late winter. We're now sort of putting the seeds in. We've got a fair few seeds here. It's just not doing anything. It could only be even a portion of the corpse that's there. Like these have taken a lot of damage with the different attacks that we've done. There we go. More miasma spewing out from this region. If I build an atom smasher there, and we should now have a that could be doable actually, just to atom smash things. Another thing we could do would be to drop some rocks on it, and but let's do that. Let's do that. So let's just go and see Began. Began, where are you? Because Began is set up as a there he is, as a special. He's now sleeping. He's been locked in to throw things away. That's his actual job. So if we have a look at the actual at the labor menu here, we have a bring out your dead one that we created last time. I think it was last time. Yeah, it was last time, because we had so much dead and it was coming back to life as zombies in the fortress that we had to do something with it. And so Began is he's the only one that's locked in with this one here to throw things. Essentially, the job here is that only Began does this. He is the animal dissector in the fortress, but he's locked in to bring out your dead. And so what this one is if we go in, how do we edit this? Standing orders there. Yeah, that's okay. We don't need to do those at all. Actually, kitchen and stone use, there's nothing, DF hack does all that for us. We don't need to look at that. So in this one here, if I go and, can I add a new work detail? No, I don't want to do that. Oh, damn it. Sorry. I'll just go back again. I don't often do this one. Should be able to delete that. Where's the deletion? That's what we put inside. Yeah, there we go. Delete. There we go. So if we have a look at this one through here, bring out your dead is set to throw away. The only tick we have next to it is this one here. So burial and refuse hauling. So when we designate something as refuse, Began will go and pick it up and chuck it down that hole. So because what's happened, maybe I'll explain this a bit more deeply as to what's going on here. So we've set up a special bring out your dead thing. This is just one that we've done ourselves. Wish you could change the icon actually. That would be pretty cool. But anyway, it's a lot more work for the devs to do that sort of stuff. So in this case, this is just our first one. And so this is the one, like if we can get refuse to be thrown away, then he will go and throw it away. And by default, any body that gets killed, essentially, or if we can just designate it as, chuck it away. So if we have a dump, so we've got a dump zone, and so if we go back up the top above here, we'll then sort of see that there's this zone in through this other side with a hole above it. And so this is a bit dangerous because we do have an airlock there to allow us then to go and do it. If we have a look at the zones, we have a dump zone into this particular area. So this is a garbage dump. And so if I designate things to be dumped, they will be thrown down that hole. So if we go and tell it that this rock is to be dumped, then Began, when he wakes up, should come and pick up that particular rock. So let's go and do that, and that will then fall on that zombie. So let's just see how this works. This could be fun. Stomach saying, have you ever tried adventure mode yet since it came out some months ago? I tried it and didn't like it, to be honest. It's sort of not as much as I really like the fortress mode, but not the other one. Like it's not something I really warm to. So Gianna's saying I started playing Dwarf Fortress thanks to this guy. Yeah, thank you for that. It's a game that's complex, but not shouldn't really worry about what it's doing. It's just a cool game. Anyway, let's continue on. Well, now when Began wakes up, let's just follow Began because he's the one that's going to be doing this one. So we'll go to where he is. So he's asleep in this room. This is his room, and we'll just follow him at this point in time. following Began. So he'll then wake up. The little drop down, like little down arrows, means that he's lying down. He's on the ground or on the bed. There he goes, down, grabs it and chucks it. Now, we can then see the the troglodyte mutilated corpse is now fighting. So Began has now done that job, and so he's now sort of he's done what he had to do. So we told him to chuck that down into that particular area. I should have done it bit by bit so we could see the actual thing falling down. When we have a look down at this one now, we can then sort of see that there's actually a fight going on with the troglodyte mutilated corpse. And if we just go and zoom across and have a bit of a look, so we can no longer see it there. So and as we sort of come back in, there'll be that rock. So the mudstone block. Actually, there's mudstone blocks. That shouldn't be there. There should just be a piece of there's a piece of bauxite there. I'm guessing that's what we threw down. Not sure if that was it or not. Anyway, that's the if you have a look at the fight, what actually happened there. Now that's all early stuff, but in this case, so this is all the stuff where there was fights going on, like different skeletons and things attacking the troglodyte. But the troglodyte mutilated corpse slams into an obstacle. It's actually the opposite way. That rock actually smashed into it. So the troglodyte mutilated corpse's upper body takes the full force of the impact, bruising the muscles and shattering the right false ribs. It then also it smashed into its arm, took the full force of the impact, and a part is smashed into the body, an unrecognisable mass. Troglodyte mutilated corpse, lower body, takes the full force of the impact, bruising the muscle and bruising the pancreas. Its left leg takes the full force of the impact, and then its left foot also takes the full force of the impact, and the part collapses. Essentially, it did so much damage to the zombie that it ended up dying again. So it may come back to life, but it's taking more and more damage. So that was enough to take the undead life out of it and sort of damage it. So that's just a little bit of a fun thing you can do if you happen to be able to trap things into zones. You can just throw rocks on them if you set up the those sorts of zones, I guess, which is pretty good, pretty cool. So Ukrul is saying, I also came back to Dwarf Fortress after many attempts to try and play back in the ASCII days, thanks to DasTactic's tutorials many years ago. He made it more understandable. Perhaps he can recreate those. Well, these sessions are, if you've got a question, I'll try to answer it type thing. So it's more of like a live tutorial to a large degree. I have done tutorials again off it, but not to the same extent as that big long one that was done many years ago. Okay, so we've got that fight is now over. Rock pots is complete. Still raining a goo, so we'll just unpause again. So that's that was just a little interlude of killing off that corpse because it wasn't moving off, and it certainly gave us a bit of fun. What we might do actually is we might go and set up. We've got nearly everything we need to build this. So I need this door in place. I no longer need that door there. I'll leave it until we've got security. I need to have security before I sort of go and do anything else. So these are things that are now waiting for it to come back, and then we'll build an atom smasher here as well, just so we can sort of destroy everything. These blocks were in this position back originally so that we could actually then build up that bottom layer. But there's nothing, I think it's this top layer that we do want to be coming back up to. It may be that that's the very, very bottom layer. There may be another zone in between this. I'm not sure if that's the darkest one or not. So they're milking the different animals. Starting to get a little bit more. Oh, here we go. Bjorf's, oh, here we go. So we do actually have a ghost now in the fortress. So we now have Bjorf's ghost is in through here. So what we want to do here is we do want to find a location where we can actually honour the dead. And so I think we're going to have to go and dig something out. This is actually the entrance into the fortress. There's Bjorf's ghostly woodworker body. Has come back to life because we haven't honoured it properly. Like it's just sitting here on top of the coffin, And the kids have been playing with the corpse, which is not good. So we do need to honour Beowulf properly. And this is actually where Beowulf died, was right here. So she's just haunting this region of where everything actually is. That's going to freak people out as well. So we don't want that. That's okay, we'll just leave those where they are. So in this case, the what have we got there? This is goo. So something, this dwarf pus. So there was somebody has actually got an infection. It's got to be Syrian, but I'm not sure where the goo came from, because we've locked it. We've essentially locked off. We've locked off this. Yeah, that is locked. There's no. Yeah, it's forbidden. Yeah, there's no way out for this. So what I might do is I might just lock this as well, just so we've got both locked. That way we can see that one clearly. Right, with what we're doing here, got different bones and stuff around the place, but that's all okay. So with the ghost, what we need to do here is make a slab and then honour Beowulf with a slab. So if we go and have a look at the stocks and just type in slab, don't have any slabs. So we need to build the slabs immediately. Now, we should automatically be having the slabs. If we go back into the work orders, let's have a look for slab. God, I wish we could filter this. Thrones, cabinets, there's such a big lot. There it is. It actually is there. And it's ready, like they've got that there. I'm going to override that. I'm just going to go back down to the workshop. So if I go to F1 is outside, F2 is there, F3 is the dining hall, F4 is the bedrooms, F5 is where I want to be. So if I go into, this is a stoneworker's workshop. Now there, he's actually making tables, blocks, etc. This is a stoneworker's workshop through here. Blocks, coffers, grates and doors. Got a carpenter's workshop, not doing anything. Crafts dwarf workshop, making a rock nest. And we have the mechanics workshop, which doesn't have to do anything at this stage. We might throw another stoneworker workshop in, I think. And I will throw in add new task, and so we need to, before we can actually engrave the slab, so before we can do that one, there's no we need to go and actually make the slab. So we need to make a slab and then engrave it. So we're just going to go into add new task, rock slabs, and then we'll actually go and raise the level of it. And you could make it urgent. I'll do that as an urgent thing. So we'll go and make that as the most urgent job in that particular one. So we'll just go and watch that one happen. There he goes. That means somebody's working on it. And who is it? This is Orangutan's library. Well, that's the Orangutan's library. If we look at the relations, yes, that's right. It's his pet. It is the saviour of the fortress, ultimately. So he's actually now working away on that slab. Also feeling a bit grumpy. There we go. We've got one that's a bit happier now. So I'm thinking that with the training of the military, they're now going to be a bit happier, being able to sort of go off and train if they feel that they need it. Oh, sorry, I had it on pause. That's taking a long time. So if we have a look there, we've now got lots of blocks sitting on the bottom there with a slab, a phyllite slab. So that someone's coming to pick that one up now, and I'm just going to go and grab another one as well. Just go and get another rock slab, and we'll make that also now the next priority. So just to put this into perspective, the phyllite slab, you can see there's a work order there for it. So, and you can see in the top right corner there, this item is tagged by a task and will not be used by any other tasks. So somebody is coming along to do something with that slab. And if we have a look at the actual at the work orders themselves, so if we go into the task information, we can then sort of see like there's storing an item in the stockpile. So Kuja Grim is coming in to do something. It may be that one. There's we don't think we're going to see the slabs down this way at all with what they're actually doing. These are all the jobs that still need to be done, and so but nobody's like we can see who's doing what. And so this one is there's a firelight door that von Schweinhut, the kid, is actually sort of going off to go. So he's constructing a door. So the kids are useful in the fortress. But in this case, it's only Kuja Grim that's actually going off to store an item in a stockpile. Now, somebody is coming in. If we look at the slab, I don't think we're going to see the slab because we're not actually doing anything with the slab as such. So everyone else is sort of like working at the steel or doing other bits and pieces. But in this case, it must be Kuja Grim. If we go across and look at what they're doing, hauling large mudstone pot. That's not it. Okay, who else would it be then in that case? Store item in stockpile. We don't know. Well, there's a stockpile. But we don't know what the job actually is, which one of them it will be, but it'll be storing the item. Let's just unpause this and just let it go for a little bit before we sort of then start to see what's going on. So they honour their dead. They sort of like they like to have their dead around. Is that still there? No, it's gone. So that slab is now moved off, and so the somebody has now picked it up. So if we have another look at it, Orangutan's library is now moving something into a stockpile. So if we go and have a look, and Sev is as well. So if we go to what they're doing, that's a dwarven ale barrel. So it's not orangutans. So it's either already been done or it's Sev. Yep. So Sev is hauling the slab, and we can't do anything with it until it's actually been stored. But it's fairly heavy, and you can see that Sev is now sort of struggling with it a little bit. Throws it there. So the slab is now there. Oh, and here we go. It's right on the end of the month. And there we go. So Sev's now going off for individual combat drill. And so this should make our military dwarves a bit happier now that they're going off to train. So, sorry, I'm missing a lot of the comments here, guys. I apologise for that one. Okay, so I'll start with YouTube because there's not too many comments in there. So yeah, so Ukril is saying it's amazing how much improvement to mood a 3x3 bedroom with bed, chest, and dresser makes. Yeah, I've just got 2x2s with what I'm doing, but they are smoothed. So smooth the walls and floor and grey for even more improvement. Yep. It's sort of like we've been looking at what their data is. A lot of the military are the ones that are actually unhappy, and they've been outside a lot in the goo, which is another question we have over through here. So we've got, let's now pause, that's okay. Bioff saying we need to protect the turkey so we can get a respectable swarm going, and they can in turn protect your dwarves. Yeah. Well, they actually did end up killing a few of the zombies, the turkeys, but then sort of took a lot of damage themselves. So I'll just go and zoom back up, see if I missed anything else. Yeah, so hi Bioff, how you going? Great Turkey Troglodyte War, yeah, we did that one. Does it matter to turkey leather you get differ between animals? I can't imagine a turkey. Yes, it does. It does indeed. A Forgotten Beast will give you heaps and heaps of stuff, whereas a turkey will give you like 2 pieces of leather or something like that. So ultimately, it is an industry. It's still better than a hen, which gives you nothing. So yeah, I think you only get 2 pieces of turkey per 2 pieces of leather per turkey. So it's not a great thing, but you end up ultimately getting eggs, you get meat, you get leather. So you get a lot of stuff coming back through that way. Yeah, where are we? Quality control is serious. Testing the safe limits and able. Yeah, I'll just see if there's any other questions for me. 5 angry dwarves is bad. Yes, we did. Yeah, so I did address that one. We now only got 4. So we've done something to help it. We need to get them also praying and also burying these dead. So Can't they craft an umbrella or something? No, not really. Yeah, does the goo do anything? In this case, it just really makes them unhappy. So it's one of these things where, particularly one of them, is it's sort of in their long term memory of being caught out in the goo. Like it doesn't do any damage to them, but it does actually affect their moods quite dramatically. So I don't want them outside. So yeah, we are dwarves. We fear no goo. Well, some of them it doesn't bother, but other ones it does. Stomach saying, I wonder if flinging mine carts full of swords still works and all the. Yes, it does. Yep, I'm pretty sure it does. I mean, I'm surprised I let it slide so long, so I'm not sure what that is in relation to. Anyway, Stomach just saying, I think the last time I played Dwarfs was Masterwork mod when they were added raiding villages and such. I guess mods have caught up with the Steam release by now. I haven't really bothered with mods, to be honest. The base game is just so good now. He's getting honoured by being used as a trampoline by children. Yes, he has been. Yeah, Dwarf has certainly been mucked around with by von Schweinhund. So Dwarf saying, what's the maximum size of a bedroom? Can it be before you stop getting a benefit? Well, as big as you make it and designate it. So when you get nobles, you want big rooms, and then you really do need to get them so that they become big and valuable. And you can see that essentially by what they actually have. If we go back to, for example, I think we can do it this way. I'll just go and I'll just stop following that one. If we go into the dwarves, I think we could still do it this way. I know used to be able to do it. So we know that Began's got a bedroom because he was asleep in the bed. So we assume that he's actually now taken that particular bedroom. So if we have a look at Began as an example, rooms. She doesn't have a quarters. Let me have a look and see if anyone's taken. They should be designated. The bedrooms should be designated to the dwarves. If I go to the zones. Oh, I haven't done this. Okay, this is a big. So I didn't actually make bedrooms. Well, that's a big thing actually. I'm going to go to multi. I'm just going to go and select all of this as bedrooms. So when you do multi, it then automatically assigns these as bedrooms. So 10 bedrooms were created, done. So these are now all bedrooms. So the dwarves will now come and claim their own bedroom. We've got 6 so far. If anyone's sort of married, they'll end up sort of sharing a bedroom. So we've just got one little coffer in through here. So this is just our basic bedroom layer. We may need to switch this up a little bit. What I might do is I might just go through and get rid of. I'll just keep it that we can auto dump. Now there was a better way. Should just go. Spring has now arrived. The poults have hatched. Here we go. So we can have a look and see. So essentially, we've now got heaps of poults at this location. We've still got 11 turkey hens and turkey eggs here, and these have now been designated for picking up. So something has been tasked with this one. I'm not sure whether it's to sort of impregnate them with the gobbler, but that's good. We've now got the sort of the start of another turkey industry here. So we'll leave them where they are. Poults have hatched. Rock coffer's complete. Yeah, we're still getting these messages. Anyway. That's interesting. I don't know if that's working or not. No one's going beyond there. Let's see if this actually works ultimately. We'll have to just see if anyone can actually use that. I'm not sure if they can. But we'll find out. All right, so let's just continue on down through the fortress. So they're now working on the hospital layer, which is good, and then this ultimately will be where we put our actual hospital. So yeah, the poults have now come. I do need to go into the zone that's here, and I'll just go in and use df hack assign. And so what we want to do here is essentially grazers. Not grazers. Sorry, I'll just go exclude those egg layers only egg layers. So These are the bolts, so we've got a heap of them actually that we can sort of see through here. Now the male bolts we're not going to need, so they can sort of be basically butchered when they've grown up into turkeys. So when we get all the gobblers, ultimately we'll end up with them. So with all of those then through there, these are. I'm just going to do the assign all, so they're all now all been assigned to that location. So yeah, the distance, some of them are, it looks like they may be wandering off into different other parts of the fortress. So we just want to keep them in that particular zone. Let's continue on down. So that's our the workshop layer. Now we need to figure out what we're going to do with our dead. Where should we bury them? We should really keep it up near the top. Do we put a burial chamber off this area, or even down in here somewhere? We could have burial chambers off from the main hall, or we could go off this way, or that way. Well, we're going to need to also then have an area for actually we'll do the burial up above. So let's go and make this into like a bit of a catacombs above it, and then we'll go with the temples off to the side. Or do we actually do the bit of both? Maybe we'll do a bit of both. So we'll end up with a, because there was a request that we make it a bit more convoluted with the way that we sort of do it. So let's make it a bit more of an organic type shape for slabs and so on and so forth. So let's make a slab area in through there initially. So we'll just make it look like this. And then we'll have a catacombs that then sort of goes off into different areas at the back here. Maybe sort of extends back up. We won't make the tombs very large. Might even go further up. So I'm thinking I'm going to need to end up with, in fact we might even make this central area. No, I'll keep that still fairly narrow, but I'll keep it fairly tall. So I'll go that way. Then we'll make another temple. Now temples need to be, was it 10 by 10? We'll go 10 by 10 there, with a doorway there for the main temple, and then we'll go and just designate the tombs along this area. And we'll then sort of dig them from the other side as well, ultimately. I think that'll do. Yeah, so I'll just make the first lot of tombs into here, and then we'll sort of have the catacombs ready to go. I might as well get them dug out this other side as well. Do we want to maybe go the other way? Yeah, let's just do that. Have a couple of catacombs that way, and then we'll start to sort of just dig areas in amongst all these different burial areas. That'll do us. So that will that way we can sort of get those established. Just unpause. Blocks have been misplaced. Now with the sorry, we're still finishing off what we're doing here with in the bottom layer of the fortress with the workshops. One thing we need to do is to just make sure if we go across into the actual workshop itself. So it's still making the rock slab in through here. If we go to add a new task, if we now go to engrave a memorial slab, and so there's no slabs that have been engraved for Beowulf, so we'll just go and make that one now the #1 priority. So that will then become what we then need to go and do. So we'll go and get that one done, just while we're sort of digging. Is it F3? Yeah, F3 is sort of like the zone where we're going to do this area. And we'll start with the slabs sort of running through the middle here. going to get them smoothing this out. Good. All right, so this is now the tombs that we're sort of getting established. And then and so ultimately all of these will have to be smoothed. Now, when the slab is made, I'm going to place the first one there for Beowulf. So as the dwarves die, we'll then end up with slabs essentially through this central area. Like I think it's only a 7x7 that we need for the temples. Oh, here we go. A troll mutilated corpse is fighting. Where? Oh, it's a troll versus a troll. So what we've got here is we've got a I don't know when this happened. So the troll corpse was fighting another troll. And actually, we're right on the edge of the map, so we can't see exactly what happened here. But there's troll blood there. That green blood, or that sort of bluey blood, is troll blood. So this has actually been able to damage the troll. If we have a look and see what actually happened there, from the troll's perspective, punches the troll corpse in their body. Troll mutilated corpse kicks the troll in the upper lip. I don't know if we sort of see anything through here. So there's been a fair bit of fighting going on there. This thing's on the ground. There's only the one of them there. Yeah, it's gone off the map. So it's wandered off. This is in the bottom layer. Got one hostile left. Who is it? Oh, it's this. We've got ourselves a mutilated corpse wandering around outside. This is a troglodyte with its guts hanging out. So it's just basically sort of away. It's moved away from this location. So it did actually come back from there. So it's actually the one that we dropped the rock on. That'll be it there. If we have a look at it and see its health and description, yeah, we'll probably see that it's right upper arm is mangled beyond recognition. Left foot is mangled. That's where the rock actually hit it. I was looking for the foot that ended up being sort of jammed up through what it had. Yeah, so it's crawling around. You can see the drop down there. So anyway, that's what we have left. One hostile outside. We can't really open this up until we get this one. Oh, there we go. We've got ourselves a Gorlak. So this troll will probably be trying to crawl along the ground and hunt these sorts of animals. Yeah, it's chasing it. Trailing its guts behind it. It's sort of such a, like, it's an imaginative sort of graphic game, isn't it really? You've got all these plump helmets now being built, which is good. Okay, we've now got a blind cave ogre fighting the hand. Yep, so bites the troll left hand, tearing apart the muscle. If we have a look at where that actually is, that was over here, and so now we have a mangled left hand. So the troll hand, there was an ogre out here. If we just go back out to the others, so we do actually have a blind cave ogre. These even though these are bad, like they're like these trolls and things, like they're terrible if they come into the fortress, but they're not considered enemies, which is actually a bit dangerous because they really are enemies. And so this one's just literally outside here, just floating around sort of in this zone. We do have to make sure that actually becomes something that we watch. Oh, here we go. We've got more troll blood over here with troll. So there was a fight over here with troll. That may have been where the first one died. Maybe. Anyway, snowstorm has come. Okay, so Kuja has become a stonecutter. That's good. Still getting those error messages. Probably because I've got too many of them. located up there. Anyway, so these are hostile, but they're not considered the actual hostiles as such in here, as in they're not super enemies. They're more animals than anything. But we are safe in here. This is actually a nice safe sort of zone. Let's unpause again. We'll just go back up to the top of the fortress and just check how things are going. It's now running goo again. It was snowing and I thought, oh, that's good. It'll clean up the goo, but the goo is back. So we've now got an area for the slab. Let's just quickly go down. Is it F6, F7? Yeah, F7. So you can see there that the block is now gone. If we have a look down the bottom here, there's a mudstone slab that is now, somebody's coming to pick that up. So the mudstone slab is actually is being picked up in this instance. So that's it there. Actually, no, that's just a slab. Finely crafted mudstone slab. If we have a look at the, yeah, no, that's okay. We'll just leave that one there. The yeah, so Syrian is still damaged, maybe. Anyway, that's all right. So what we'll do is the slab. If we go back to stocks and go to slabs now. Yep, so this is a part. Okay, it's not that mudstone slab. It's this one. This memorial. Where is it? It's here now. So we actually now have the memorial, but it's still not good enough. So this ghost that we have of Beowulf needs this thing to be then positioned somewhere in the fortress to then sort of be able to be sort of used. So if we just go back up to F3 again, and so we're going to place it right here. I wanted to smooth the ground underneath it before we started to do this. So we'll just go across. We will go to where is it? Is it constructions? Choose constructions. Slabs. Yeah, so this will be the memorial. So somebody will come and actually do this job. Eventually. Good, we're sort of cutting all this out. Oh, hang on. One Schweinhund cancels give water. Now, if we've got to give water, that could be a problem. But no one in the hospital. Beowulf has now become just a mangled skeleton. The slab is still sitting there, so nobody's come to pick that one up. Okay, we've got another stray cow now. That's going to give us more milk. Needs empty buckets, so we need to get buckets. So we'll just go back down to F6 again, sorry, F5, and just go to the carpenter's workshop and get wooden buckets. So we do go through a lot of these. Now there should be a work order for buckets. So what's happened there with the buckets? I'm not seeing it there. We've got beds. There we go, wooden bucket. So what's going on with this? So we need at least 50 logs. We need at least, say, 10. Right, so we need to get more buckets. And if that's doing that, then beds will probably also the same deal. So let's just go across. So we need a lot more logs. 150. Whoa. Make that 10 as well. Just to make sure that they're satisfied for the next check. All right, that should be okay. All right, that way at least, because we've stopped making beds as well, and that's not good. So we need to do that. We need to get wood. Actually, we need to get wood. So yeah, we don't have any, like all the bad things have now wandered off. Got heaps of rock. So where do we get to with the comments? Yeah, monument to the turkeys is the dinner plate, says Kuja Grim. Yes. So I'm just saying, multi is a nice feature. The amount of wild turkey and numpad clicking back 10 years ago, yes, it was pretty bad. So Squid Coda saying, dwarves, yes, we're ready to go. Kuja Grim saying, sure, it's getting ready for a lot of dead dwarves. I'm doubting Daz has the purest of intentions. Well, I do. I don't like killing them off, but if it happens, it happens. And of course, then it's pretty good fun. So where do we get to in YouTube? So Team Game saying, I'm allowed to recommend that you check out antimatter on this stream. Yes, you can. Yep. So I'm not sure. What's antimatter? I don't know what that is. Okay, yeah. Ukarol saying, I gold-plated and engraved the floor of the military training room. Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty cool, actually. We've still got 4 pretty angry dwarves, but at least we've gotten rid of one of them. And then we'll get the altar. Actually, do we have any altars? No, we don't. So we actually, do we? No, we don't. Nothing there. So we need to get an altar built as well. So we might as well just go into the into one of these zones. Just make a rock altar at this stage. And then we'll just do a general temple to all the gods. And if we just go back up to F3, that's going to be in here. So I want the altar to essentially be back in here somewhere. So I'll just go and just do a little bit of quick smoothing in here. And I need to get a few other little things in the altar in this area, I think. But I can start off without it. Yeah, it's running more goo, unfortunately. There we go. Wooden bucket now completed. So we'll need to get a few of those. Still the goo. All right, we're just going to go and make a temple here. So I'll make smaller temples. I'm pretty sure it's only 7 by 7 that we need, not 10 by 10. But anyway, we've got a big one, a big one early. So the meeting halls, it'll tell you, one thing I love about it is the tooltips are very, very good in this game. Just pause for a second while we do this. The important zone is where your citizens will go to gather and socialise. Crucially, the meeting area is where locations such as taverns, temples, hospitals, etc. are established. So meeting area, we then go into this zone and establish that. And so accept. And so this is then going to become a temple. So a new temple. And this is going to be to no specific deity, back and through here. So we've got koshered, one worshipper. Sometimes you'll end up with one where nearly everyone worships something. We've got 12. The worshippers of death and murder. That's fairly applicable. I think we'll actually end up with a special one for that. One. I love this, what it does here. Showing you all the stuff. Yeah, so only just one worshipper for all the others. But the Lish is, I've got 5 for the ungodly faith. These aren't worth it worship Lish, but we've only got 5 of those as such. The cult of seduction. I think if we make the spidery creed, so these are all different groups that we do actually have in the fortress. So a lot of Lish worshippers here. So we'll make one to Lish. I've come about, I think that not this one. We'll make this one to no specific deity. So the Ward of Punches is actually okay. I'll leave that one there. So this will become what we then need to have. And if we have a look and see set the details. And so we have this one here is a shrine. It's basically, it's not really much there. I'm going to have all visitors welcome, I think. So I'll allow everything to use this. We don't actually have any performer at this point in time. Chests in the common area, we've got none, and we don't have any instruments. So we'll have to get some chests and stuff, but I'll just wait for now. So we'll leave that where that is. It's just at least it's an area for them, and then they'll just go in and when they do need to pray, initially they'll start there. And I think what we'll do is we'll build the death cult off the actually now we need to set these up as well. So let's go in and build the tombs. Now the tombs can also be multi-done, or we can do them up in one go. So, but what I need to do here is essentially just go and designate rooms so that the tombs can then be placed. So we'll just go across into here with the, and I'll do all of these in this other side. But if we go into build, we go to furniture, burial, go to planning. Now that's not going to work as individual tombs at this point in time. So what I then need to do is so I've got a fair few of these burial things already here. What I need to then go and do is actually set up a location where I end up with the with doors. So I've unfortunately got to go back through now and go to doors and hatches, and just lock each tomb in like this. I'm going to have them open, but because I don't want to be wasting the doors in this region. So that then gives me doors in front of the actual burial chambers. So even though in planning mode it's still going to work, I can then go back into my zones. I can then go back into tombs, and if I then go, I've got multi-selected, so I can then just go back across, select those. It's then going to make individual tombs. So 16 tombs were created, done. And so what I then can do is come back and go back to each door and basically just go cancel construction. So it's sort of possibly I could have just done the tombs manually as well, because I've got to do these doors now manually. So I just go and grab those. Without the doors though, it doesn't actually make the tombs. I wonder if I could, no, I was just thinking of no, that was a silly idea. I was thinking of if I could, no, I was thinking of actually just designating like an area in the solid rock, but you can't do that. So if we go back into zones, we'll then sort of see that we actually then have the various tombs in through here. So I could have just gone and sort of selected these. If I go back into this one here, now this one, what we need to do is we've got, this is, auto assigned. I can assign, what I want to do is I now want to assign Beowulf's tomb as well. So we'll wait for this one to come in. That will get rid of the ghost. There we go, Adrian's come in, and that's now been done. So we now end up with a situation where that has now been placed. We have Beowulf's ghostly woodwork has been put to rest, so that's actually now, no, that's why the ghost will no longer be around, which is good. So got problems in through there, rock door, rock statues completed. Yep, so there's the alert there for that one. So that's that one through there. Let's just go back up the top to this layer where we actually have, this is another, also a tomb that was set up for Beowulf, but it doesn't really work. Actually, what I'll do is I'll leave this for now, and because otherwise Beowulf's mangled skeleton would be buried in that tomb. And there's a bit of, like, the game is trying to figure out what to do with Beowulf, doesn't know what to do. So we've done enough now with what we have, but I'm just going to go and leave that where that is just for a little bit longer. I've got these as well, the Carpenter's Workshop making beds, that's good. And Mechanics Workshop there. So we've still got a bit of wood out here. Is it still raining goo? I don't know if it is. If you're saying, I feel like at this point I deserve a tomb for all you've put me through. Well, you're going to be down in the catacombs or up in the catacombs actually. This is in the top layer of the fortress. Now smoothing. We're still waiting for that to be smooth. Let's just go and have another quick look at what's happening down in here. We're almost getting the smoothing done in here as well. These need to be established as the actual hospital. I've got all this rock. I'm just going to go and do it now. There was a method of dumping, of quick dumping. Double click on a tile to teleport dump to a tile under the mouse cursor. Control D. No, I've still got to select it and then just go Control D. Yep, so if, I'm just going to get all the rock because just to clean up the fortress, so just to make it so we don't sort of have it anywhere. I'll keep the hematites and these sorts of things around until we can sort of get or put them somewhere separate. But all the different rock types, I'm just going to dump them essentially where we're going to ultimately have the rock. So it's a little bit cheaty, but if I just go into what I can do through here, which is designate items, I can then just go back across to dumping. Now, if I unpause the game, Beacon will go and throw all these down that hole. So this is actually sort of a little bit dangerous in terms of dumping things like this to have the dwarves that are set to throw things away, will then throw them away. But in this case, we're just going to go anything that's been designated for dumping will then be used. In fact, what I'll do is I'll go to the very top of the fortress and work our way through. So we'll also start back over in the in this area. Get you. I'll leave the clay. It's not really the same stuff. The rocks through here. Okay, that's all of those. There's heaps of clay. I will pick that up as well, but I'll just clean up all this area. Sometimes you pick up other things in this. Alright, that's fine where that is. Got those. These as well. Okay, that's done. All of this will clean it right up. Naka's saying, by the way, why DasTactic and not DieTactic? Yes, this one here. So yeah, so Naka's saying, hi, since I'm already here and wanted so many great thanks. Your tutorials helped me a lot in my early Dwarf Force beginning days. So thanks for that one. Yeah, no, they've been sort of well received, those tutorials, which is great. I'm glad that they help people. Actually, it is awesome. Just move this one up to here, get those as well. And Eldar was saying, I don't usually get to see much besides watching on YouTube later, but I was able to pop in today and wanted to say thank you for all the Dwarf Fortress that I enjoy watching. Great. That's cool, actually. It's one of these things I don't know whether sometimes it can be damaging to my channel to actually do too much, if you know what I mean. Like it's sort of, but I really enjoy playing it. And I've got a few games like that where I'm sort of thinking, I'm not going to worry too much about the algorithm. Like the algorithm's just a pain in the bum. But in this case, I really love playing this game. So I sort of quite like this format of just coming in once a week. At least it's not back to back to back, which I think is possibly what the algorithm doesn't like, the dreaded YouTube algorithm. Sort of one of those funny things. Like I've got to be respectful of it, even if I don't agree or like it. Yeah, there's magnetite there. I'll just keep all of those things where they are. We'll start to sort of get better things at some point. There's kaolinite back down that way. These are special rocks. This is limestone back through here, so I'll just keep them where they are. It's all okay. It's all limestone. Just get all the rocks. That's lignite, so that's a different type of rock. And look, I'll clean up this area as well. Keep the lignite somewhere separate, but this is actually where we're going to end up with everything. So if I go Control D at this point in time, so Control D, things will then work. I can then, oh, hang on, that's design. That's different again. What was it? DFAC. Control Shift D. No, that's design. Control D is that one there. Auto dump. Control H. So we'll go Control H. And so double click on a tile to teleport 275 items marked for dumping. So I want these sort of up around here somewhere. So I'm just going to go and place them in here. So Control D, so dump to tile under the mouse cursor, or double click to basically just do it there. So if I just double click to that location, bang, they all go in there. So everything has now been allocated in there. And these are, like, what I like about this is you don't have to then go and undo them. I've been doing it sort of like the old bad way for so long. Now, other things in through here, we've got all this this lignite. Let's just keep on going back and dumping more of this as well. So it's just moves things around. Now, lignite, I'll just move these somewhere else. I think there's a little bit of lignite somewhere else in the fortress, but again, we'll just go Control H to bring up this menu, and I'll just move these maybe down into here somewhere. Double click, there we are. So we've now got all of our lignite just there. It just cleans up the fortress and makes it sort of so that it now becomes a little bit easier to sort of see things. Limestone as well. I will actually go back into these ones. So we'll just go back in and dump these. And there's a bit more lignite back up the top there. Got limestone in here. I do need to get more because I think I was building limestone blocks. I'm not 100% sure. So we'll get those out. I think that's about it really for the limestone. Heaps of kaolinite. I just need to go and get all of that. There's one that we missed there before. That's okay. Just move this one back down into that layer. So Control H. So a bit of limestone through there. So that just cleans it up. And actually I will get the kaolinite. So I will just keep on going. Just get back up the top. That's F2. There may be other things in amongst this as well because it's in a stockpile, so you can get sort of double ups in sometimes. I'll just clean it out of here. More up there. So we might maybe even look at making a clay industry at some point. And then there was one other area that was full of it, wasn't there? It's a piece of rock, that's okay. We'll leave the occasional piece out. Heaps in here. I'll leave the gems where they are. And that should be about it, I think. Actually, I forgot the rocks that were in here, in this zone. We're going to need to get wood. I don't really want them going up top for that, we're going to have to sort of, I think we're going to have to go out and dig what we want. So I'll just go to F5, go back down. So kaolinite I'll just leave down at the bottom here somewhere. Control H. So yeah, there's a fair bit of that one. Oh yeah, look, see the dwarven beer barrels and stuff? We picked them up accidentally. So that's unfortunately been picked up. And that's it. So we'll now just undo that. All right, so now that's now cleaned up these areas. So we've got heaps of these different things in through there. I won't move. I'll just let the dwarves come. That can be my my punishment for cheating. So we've got that one through there. Now Pacer is saying, any chance for more Emperor of the Fading Suns content? Yes, I would like to do more of that. I've sort of got I'm thinking that I like doing these sort of more in-depth playthroughs of things, but yeah, I'm trying to trying to find ways to sort of theming things a little bit, because I also want to do more Age of Wonders content as well. So I'm sort of, but I'm thinking, like at the moment I'm doing like Distant Worlds 2, and I've probably still got a few more weeks on that one with the Worldly Wednesdays is sort of what we're doing with the Space 4X is sort of where I'm sort of going to be putting them mainly. So I'm thinking I'll ultimately end up possibly playing that there when I sort of finish off the run of Distant Worlds 2. But that's also probably where I'll be playing Gal Civ, or, you know, if I go back to Stellaris, because Stellaris has got like a new thing going back in, I'd probably play that then as well. So it's sort of one of those things where, yes, I do plan on playing more of it. In fact, I was just, for my own fun, I was playing it yesterday. I do really enjoy playing it. It's a very, very cool game for you know, for its era. Anyway, let's go down now and designate. We don't actually have any enemies on the out through here. Let's go and do this. Let's go and clean this up. This mess that we have made for ourselves. Oh, I didn't pick up all this stuff as well. I don't know if I can make that a priority. No, I can't. Oh, we make top priority. There we are. Yeah, position in line 1. There we go. Waiting for items. So when that one comes, at least we'll then have that one. Let's go and dig this out, and make this into the exit for the fortress. So I'll just go and dig this into here, and I'll dig that one there. We haven't seen anything too dangerous on this layer. Alright, so with that open, we are now going to chop down. Actually, there's a few things here I want to be building. So I want to be going to bridges here and building a... well, actually, this is going to be a problem because of what's been done there. I can't atom smash that. Okay. I'd have to then... I could cheat it, and I might have to cheat and move all this stuff. I'm going to have to do that, guys. Sorry. I'm just going to go into the designation. We have to cheat this one. So we've moved all that for dumping, and we're just going to dump it all just over here somewhere for now, and then I'll move it back in. It's just so I can build there. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen, because it's all been sort of locked away. And I do ultimately want to have this where I can then go and smash this. Anything that actually ends up in here. So we'll go and just go Control H here as well. Why did it only move the left lower arm? Control H. There we are. Let's now move that one across. Let's just go and make sure we get our spot. So it's right there. So this will be our safe area. So that's the one. If I just go straight out from here, so it's, yeah, I'll have to check that one out again. Okay, so we just go into constructions. We're doing bridges, and we're going to be doing we're going to hide the planner. We're going to keep on building afterwards, and we want it to raise. We could raise this from any old place. Actually, I'll raise it from the top. And this will be a 3x3, but let's see, where was it again? There. And we do actually have mudstone blocks there, so I'll just go and designate those. We need 3 of those, so I'll make this into a mudstone area. There we go. So that will then be that particular one. And so this will be our atom smasher, where we end up sort of destroying the everything that's going to be done. Now, I'm just going to right click because we need this next one, this next bridge to be raised up this way. And so this is going to be constructions, bridges, and so we raise from that side. I love that you can sort of see exactly what it is, like it used to not do that. And we'll make this out of chert blocks. Okay, hi Beacon, how you going? Made it at least before the end. I need to rewatch this one. Yes, you were used as an example of dumping stuff. So we're just getting your area ready for these atom smashers. Now we also, while we're here, what we should also do is just go and chop down the trees, because we definitely need wood, and this is an incredible location for trees. So this will be a bit open to everything, so a little bit dangerous. And our guys will then wander off in here now and start to grab other things as well. So we'll just leave that one where that is. Bjorf was our woodcutter, and they're picking up. They'll be also going out to pick up webs. Hang on, what did you just pick up? It's Began. He wants to throw it down again. Damn it! No, don't do that. Items. This is going to be forbidden, and all of that needs to be forbidden as well. Sorry, Began. That has to just stay where it is until this all gets gets built. So Began is actually, I might just relieve Began of his tasks, because that's all he does. So let's just make it so that he still is the only one that does it, but he can still do other things now in the fortress. So that's, I just rushed through that. These are your the labour menus, depending on what roles they have. Began was designated as Bring Out Your Dead, which we showed earlier in the session. He was designated to be the only one that does it. So that's all he does. When you click on that one, he's locked into just doing that one task, similar to what Red Shirt is only sort of designated for mining. So because if there's mining to be done, we want Red Shirt to do it. In this case, we don't need Began doing this anymore. We did when we had so much dead bodies around the place, but now that Began's thrown most of them down, or all of them down, into this little area. So we'll just sort of keep them coming. Actually, while we're doing this, what we should do now is, this is going to be our first cavern layer, and so we'll just go back up to F3, and this is where we're going to ultimately then use this room. So we're going to have the cavern layer. I think I'll actually keep it sort of fairly low-ish, and maybe over here somewhere. So we'll put the actually I couldn't even put the atom smasher up the top. I think I'll do that. I'll make the cavern layer entry just down in here somewhere. So I'm just going to go into my machines and go to a lever. I'm just going to place a lever here somewhere. So just there will do. Mudstone mechanism, and so that's now going to be built at that location. So we'll wait for that one to be built as well. And so that's the first of our actual bridges. Now the other one that we want to have is, if we go and press F5, this is where everything gets thrown away. We might as well put in the lever to do the atom smashing in here somewhere. So maybe just here. So let's just go across into again into the construction, machines and fluids, lever, and we'll pop it there. Okay, so that will be our atom smashing lever. And in the meantime, we'll just watch what actually happens here. So you're going down, probably picking up an animal, or going to milk it. Actually, I'm just going to pause and grab myself a drink of water. Be right back. we don't have anything too dangerous just yet. There we go. He's taking this one up for milking. Now, what's that? That's a giant cave swallow. It's not dangerous. Oh, hang on. 4 hostiles. What have we got? Chinchillas. Okay, that's fine. Let's have a look at others. Where are you? Down below. That's okay. So this is actually, you can see there the colour of the ground is different. Oh, we've got, we attracted no migrants. Damn it. Okay, damn it. That's a shame. We need to get our value of the fortress up a little bit. Probably going to take another we need to get stuff to sell. We've got a whole year. We've got spring now. It's early spring. We've got summer, which we can start to make things to then go and trade. So let's just go back to others again. It's a wild animal. Not really going to worry us. We've got a giant crow outside as well. I'm assuming it's outside. Yeah, that's up on the mountain. So these, we do have some giant animals that are coming in. These aren't dead. These come from this edge. So they're not really a problem. If they were undead giant things, they would be a big problem. But they're not. These are living. I think if they, I don't know if they die, if they then cause issues. Anyway, let's just go down to F5 again. So an F6 would be the one. Yeah, this will be the actual main entrance. Who was that? I think they're just going out now while they can get all of the webs. So they're out and about doing things. This one needs to be given a top priority. So Sev's coming now to build this one. There we go. The cow's being brought back down again. There's 2 cows, so they may go and milk the other cow. Alert! What's going on here? Oh no! Where was that? What happened to Syrian? Is Syrian in the chat? No, Syrian avoids the banning. Oh no, Syrian is in the chat. Sorry, Syrian. Oh no, you are down. You are out. You are gone. Okay, so Syrian, yeah, you are here. It sort of comes up as a different, in my chat, it's got like a percentage mark, but in front of it. But yeah, so I've got to check both of those. Anyway, you've said your farewells, so goodbye. It's time for you to be. Well, what are we going to do with you? That's the thing. What are we going to do with you? Because you're going to come back as a zombie. I wonder what happened there. Anyway, that is a problem anyway. So Syrian, sorry, you are banned for 30 minutes down. Okay, so Syrian is gone. I don't know how that happened. Syrian's just been found dead in this passageway. I don't think there's anything dangerous down here, but Syrian was injured. That mudstone bridge there. Now, I'm not sure why that's been cancelled. We have to just try to build that again. It may be because of the zone we have above it. If I go and cancel that zone, I'm just going to suspend the activities of that one, and then we'll just come back in and see if we can build that again. Okay, so constructions, bridges. Where's the hole? Yeah, there it is there. Okay, we'll just get that one going that way. All right, so we've got to deal with this other one now. Got Human Maceman is now visiting. Could that have been the problem? That's the only thing that's different now. No, it hasn't even got inside yet. So there's nothing at all to do with this particular character. Human Maceman. Now he's going to want the doors open, actually, that's the point. Alright, well let's open the door, make it passable. And we'll make this passable. Yeah, so it's an enclosed environment. There just must have been something that happened here. I'm just not sure. I haven't seen anyone use that yet. We did have a working hospital here, so this is actually still workable. There is a bucket there. It's coated with abhorrent goo, but somebody is coming in to make use of it. Yeah, the wood is being used up now, which is fine. Alright, well, burials. Let's just see if we've got any actual areas down the bottom here that we can actually, actually where is it? No, it's up the top, F3. Yeah, so we do actually have some of these. So this first one will be Dwarfs, this next one will be Syrians. Yeah, here we go. Already designated for Syrian. Now the trouble is that Syrian is not damaged. So Syrian is going to come back as a zombie. So we need to get our military ready to, and we've got, these guys are unhappy again. I don't know who's unhappy, but we're down back to 5 again. So that will have caused some issues. We go to F2. And we'll go to our squads and just get them ready to attack. So you're on station. Here we go. Oh, now that's okay. So this is Sev has already now. There's already been the fight happened in through here. So Syrian's corpse is now fighting. Let's have a quick look and see what actually happens in through this other side. So is that the only damage that we ended up having? Yeah, it looks like this is now the has been reset. So we've got Syrian's corpse strikes at the Hammer Dwarf, but the shot is blocked. The Hammer Dwarf bashes Syrian's corpse in the head with a copper warhammer, bruising the muscle and fracturing the skull. That's a good start. The force twists the neck, okay, and then Syrian strikes the Hammer Dwarf, but the shot is blocked again. That's why we need to have military around these. When someone dies, they've got to quickly get there. Hammer Dwarf bashes Syrian's corpse in the right foot, fracturing the bone. Okay, Syrian's corpse, so he bashes Syrian's corpse in the right hand. I'm glad that the military got here first, just that way we can hopefully smash the skull, which we should be doing. So if we keep on going back down, in the head again, jamming the skull through the brain, tearing the brain. Bashes again in the left hand, bashes, what's the last one through here? Got the head again, jamming the skull through the brain. That should be enough to kill off a zombie. Here we go, actually crushing the head. So the Hammer Dwarf bashes Syrian in the head with a copper warhammer, and the injured part is crushed. That means that she cannot come back to life. So that is not just a dead zombie, that is a destroyed zombie. So Syrian is no longer a threat. So that is all okay. We can unpause, undo those, and just let them go back to whatever they do. So that's now done. Job done. That was perfect timing. So that was like we've been able to finish off the zombie very, very quickly. So we're in a reanimating biome, which is what's sort of happening in through here. And so this is with Syrian essentially being damaged like this. Now, do we want to open the fortress again? Just thinking about whether we'd let that other one in. I think I will. I want to go hunt monsters, and that'll be fun. It'll be fun to see it die a horrible death. Anyway, that's been done. Yeah, so Red Shirt was interrupted by Serian. Sev interrupted by Serian as well. So that's okay. Get provisions. So he was actually coming to get provisions to go and stand there. Anyway, it worked out well in the end. So we'll just unpause and off they go again. So somebody will now come and take her body. Now, hang on. It looks like they're still on station. Yeah, they are. You don't need to do that anymore because we've crushed the head. Now there goes the human. So he's actually coming into the fortress. Resume construction there. All right, well, we managed to sort of solve that one pretty quickly. We're building this one. There we go. So we now actually have this one established. There we go. We're bringing up this yak to be milked. So Klingzog is collecting webs. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of them just going off and collecting webs. Again, we should just double check with the others. Yeah, that's fine. We've got nothing, no real problems down here. So with this drawbridge here, we want to keep this open for a little while. But it's and I'm thinking, do I actually start to lock off different areas and sort of make an area for just this zone? I'm not sure. What are you doing? Hauling firelight. Constructing the building back over here. Okay, let's see what happens here. Yeah, so it's just picking up the rocks to go and build this one. We do have a petition now. Wants to eradicate monsters. Yep, we'll approve that. So we've got now a human that's part of the fortress. Now he's making this bridge. Needs water. There he goes. He's going to hunt around this area. It's now open for him to go and look for monsters. We've got 5 hostiles on the map. This guy's back. He's the gift that keeps on giving. So he's actually back. He's in the top of the map, and this is where the human will now find him. So a few things through there. Just go to F5, F6. Then go back across. Wait until this has been built. Great. Okay. So now if we just go back up through the maps, this has now been allocated. So we now want to link this lever. So what we're going to call this one is the Atom Smasher. So if you just rename these, it makes it so much easier. Smasher. Okay. So we know that that's what that one is for. We're going to link this lever to that bridge. Do it now. Okay, so that's now going to be linked to that particular bridge. If we just right click and go to this bridge, this is also going to be called Atom Smasher. So Atom Smasher is the name of the bridge, and so that will now be linked. This bridge here will be the Cavern bridge. And when we go to the top of the fortress, like F3, that will also be called Cavern Bridge. So when we're trying to figure out what levers to pull, we can see whatever it's called will then relate to the bridge that it's going to be actually affecting. So we're going to link this lever, go to F5, F6, to that one there. And so link that one, do that one now as well. And so that will then be our outside drawbridge. Now, do we have a woodcutter anymore? Serian was the only... both woodcutters have been killed. It's not a good role, is it, to have somebody that's doing woodcutting? So just go back to our we need someone to do it. Someone has to do it, guys. Unfortunately, someone has to do it. So the woodcutters... Oh yeah, no, Cause Lord is doing it. Do we want Cause Lord doing that? Cause Lord's also our doctor. I might get a second one. Now we had engraving. I might just turn that one off and put this in amongst the mix here for falcons. Actually, no, sorry, I won't do that. I'll do it with Kuja. It was a stone cutter. We should actually have Kuja as the for the stone cutting. What was I thinking? Definitely want that one through there. So yes, we'll grab that one there, but also make like if I think we've got 2 axes. I think there's another axe somewhere. In fact, if we go and follow Kuja, just see what happens there. Brewing drink. Just follow it around for now. So getting a drink. Making the wood a bucket. So no, it's not really sort of designated for chopping down the wood. Oh, hang on. Now we do have another fight. Okay, yes, this is this is Tal. He'll have an easy time with this one. So misses the human maceman, bashes the troglodyte in the left upper arm. Attacked by the dead. This is truly horrifying. So this is all in the down through here, and he has killed off that particular one. So he'll just keep on hunting around, seeing what he can find in this location. So we'll end up sort of getting a much better idea of as to what the underground looks like. And there may be other opportunities for us to go and establish something else as well. Now with this one here, have we now got the... has that one been linked? Yeah, it has. Pull the lever, do it now. Oh, there's now 11 hostiles. Oh, what else was that? See what else we get. We got dark gnome corpses. So they're coming in and they're getting close to. Just make sure no one's inside. They're all over the place. So what we'll do is we'll now lock down the fortress again. So F1. Lock it, forbidden, and we'll also then go down a bit deeper as well. So we'll just go back down to F2, and we'll lock that as well. Okay, so that one's done. Bloodstone. It's raining goo outside. Just make doubly sure that there's nothing else down below. They're all up top, aren't they? Yeah, no, they're all up top. That's fine. Okay, that's now ready to go. So we can now go back up and set up this one here for this zone. You can now make this one active again. And so that will now be thrown straight down into that location there. Let's just go and clean up the stuff that we had back over this other side. So we'll just go and unhook that one. And we'll just go back across into here as well and just claim all of this. And then we'll just go back to dumping. And Control H, place that one there. The stuff that's here, now Arothetics, I'm not sure who that is, but that's the mangled. You can see all the turkeys that were killed. We just got one piece of bauxite there in mudstone blocks. I might I might just keep them out. just go and dump. I'll just set them for dumping. And the bauxite as well. Rather than atom smashing it, I'll just dump that as well. Just make sure there's nothing else that we need to grab. Oh, that looks like it. That's fine. So everything else is just like old clothing, but we'll just go Control H through here. Just position those out through that side. Then we'll just go back in to dump all of these again. And Control H. So they're now all there. And then we'll just lock all these away so they don't get moved. Oops, and that's okay with the we've locked that one accidentally, but that's not going to really be a problem. Just unlock all of those. So this is now ready for atom smashing. So what we'll do is we'll just go and tell them to pull the lever on that particular atom smasher. Pull the lever, do it now. So actually looks like von Schweinhut is right there. Will you take it? Will you do it? Here we go. No, who's this one? This is Klingzog. Bang, down she goes. If we have a look at this one, what this will then do is it'll then go and drop the drawbridge on this location. Oh, here we go. So Kuja is going out to chop down some trees. And that's now been smashed. We now just raise it up again because otherwise the pieces will end up on here, and if we then open it, they'll then be thrown across the map, which is not going to be great. So we'll just go back up the top again and pull the lever, do it now. Bit dangerous while we've got dwarves down there. Here we go. So that's now ready for more stuff. Now Kuja should have been going out to pick up, or to chop down the wood. Is that what you're doing? No, you're not. What are you doing? You're going off to grab more webs. Look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make Kuja only do those jobs. Kuja will only do those two, wood cutting or smoothing. Ultimately. We need to get more wood. There we go. Now, these are big trees, they're going to fall all over the place. Heaps of wood here. Just have to be looking out for danger. If the wood falls on any of the other people, it's going to cause some damage. See, there was not much wood that came out of that one. Oh, there's a bit there. Right, heaps of wood here. So as long as we can sort of get all this inside, that will be fine. Got our door here now, which is good. That's another sort of, that will now help a little bit. This is good. Well, with the amount of wood that's been chopped here, I'll just now go back to Kuja again and not have that one, so that at least Kuja can now go off and do other things. This wood is going to keep us going for a long period of time now, as long as we can keep access to it. Great, okay, so all of that's been chopped, and here we go, we're now picking up the wood. That'll all be brought back in. That is good stuff. So USS Cheyenne is saying, hey Daz, for anyone interested, a great tabletop wargame bundle is on Fanatical. Field of Glory 2, Field of Glory Empires, Medieval, Fantasy General 2, and Sengoku Jedi as cheap as chips. I don't know, Fanatical, actually. That's very good. Hang on, where is that? Okay, a few of you are now sort of saying, yeah, let's play some more Fading Suns. In 3 hours, I've got a stream over on Slytherin, so I was just thinking, oh, could I squeeze it in? We've been doing this one for 2.5 hours. I need at least an hour break before I go off and do another stream, before I do a Slytherin stream. So I'll be playing some Terminator back over on that one there. So yeah, I'm not going to have time probably today to do it, unfortunately, but I am enjoying playing that a lot. This is Fading Suns. Fanatical, I'm not sure what the Fanatical bundle is, the tabletop wargame bundle. Yeah, I'm not sure. So Flight Rage is saying, would it be needed to wall the smasher to prevent accidents? Or not so much really. It's just going to be there for cleaning stuff up when we get too much of a big pile. So it's not going to be used all that often. And so this drawbridge here will then be the one that we lock off the fortress with, if anything dangerous is outside here. We could even make use of the fact that we could end up with archers in along this area as well, potentially. To be able to then sort of, if the zombies do sort of come back to life here, we can then maybe be able to take them out. So we've got, so Elzar is saying they should mod it so that dwarves learn and understand that zombies undead that need to destroy the head. I think they do know that, but it's then just more of a panic as to what you can actually get to, because they do aim to destroy the head. It's actually what they aim for. And so it's sort of, if a zombie is on the ground and is prone, you'll find that most of the attacks will then go to the head. There definitely is something that actually does happen. Began saying, when you take away my work tasks, I might get bored and go on a killing spree. Yeah, so just see if there's anything else into it. I would call it the Adam Sandler. Said Monka Strap. Yeah, so anyway, we'll keep on going through this one here. So yeah, if you guys are looking for more Emperor of the Fading Suns, I'm happy to play more of that, because I'm playing that just like when I've got nothing to do, I'll play it for a little bit of time. So yeah, so as I was saying, the game /devs never failed to amaze me. Yeah, I know the level of detail in this game is just unbelievable. It is unbelievable. So anyway, let's continue on. Oh, one thing we need to do is Bjolf. The first Bjolf we need to fix up. If we have a bit of a look and see. So that Atom Smasher is now waiting to go. This is all good up through the top. And we don't know if anyone's using. We haven't really set this up properly yet. And what I might do is I might just go and have a look at the other smoothing that we do need to go and do. So we can now put the altar in here. There's a bit of the thread there. Yeah, opening up underneath is certainly helping us a lot. Actually, it's full moon. That's always dangerous. Haven't had a were creature for a long time. Go to furniture, altar, the offering place. Got a limestone altar. We'll use that. And we'll smooth out this area, because I'm assuming that people will end up congregating in this area. Now, didn't mean popped away there. It's a weird arrangement, isn't it? Yeah, so that's Bjolf's resting place. If we go back up the top and now remove this tomb, if we go to this one here, and we'll unlock the bones, Bjolf's bones, which is got abhorrent goo all over it. So the bones have still got the goo from when they first arrived. And then the tomb that we have here through here, we're going to go back to this one, and yes, so this has been, no one's been assigned to this one at all. So we're just going to go and remove that location. Yes, proceed. And we will now just go back in and And also, yeah, pull this one down, just deconstruct it. So we'll make better use of that tomb. So Dwarf's body should then be claimed and taken. There we go, we're taking the tomb away. Yeah, somebody's come to picking it up. We'll just follow it with its goo. Yeah, we're still following it. Well, someone's been designated for it. Oh, fighting. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, where's that? That was Atomic Ant. Yeah, way out here. Okay, so there was a fight there with Atomic Ant. Let's have a look and see what that one was. I don't know why it does that. Why it skips twice. Yeah, we've got the troglodyte. That was the fight with the troglodytes. Then we have the cave crocodile misses the commander. Says it's withdrawing at this point in time. Charges. Now where was that? So that was right there. Now these are dangerous. This is actually what killed these things. Killed the. So they've actually come in. We need to lock this now. And unfortunately, we've got Atomic Ant on the outside. Oh boy. Okay, so Atomic Ant has run out at that location. Just make sure no damage has been done to Atomic Ant. Yeah, healthy at this stage. We'll have a look at the description. Oh boy, this is going to be tough. Cave crocodile. What we might do is just let it go a little bit. Klingzog is interrupted. What's happening here? Is that just more commenting? Must withdraw, yeah. So we're just sort of seeing, this actually happened at this location. This is actually where the fight happened. Now, is it only Klingzog? Sorry, is it only Atomic Ant that's outside? I don't want to have just Atomic Ant go after this thing. I'm going to let it disappear. Alright, now we'll unlock. Right, let's get everyone now. Okay guys, there's Atomic Ant now coming back in. So we'll get the military down here again. So we'll just go in with them already selected. There's only 3 of them. We'll go and position them here. Get all 3 of them and then we'll go after it. It's 2. Nope, they're going off again. We're just getting messages. We know where Atomic Ant is, so there's nothing much really we have to worry about. The others are probably yeah. Here we go. So we've got Supreme Plague. We've got Atomic Ant, and there we go. We've got the 3 of them now. Where is that cave crocodile gone? Where are you? Giant toad in the bottom layer. Yeah, so it's only a little way up. All right, guys, let's go and sort this out. So we'll do a we'll finish off this session with an attack, and hopefully everyone survives. So we'll keep the doors open for now, but this could be a disastrous end to the session, which was going so well. Let's go and tell them to go in position, because they do move at different rates. So we'll get them to stand close-ish to the crocodile. So they're moving at about the same rate. In that case, let's hunt it down. We must destroy it. So confirm. Now it's just a really bad idea. I don't know if it is. It could be a really good idea, but it could be a really bad idea. Don't saying, hey Daz, will you ever make your 4705 tutorials available? Yeah, I just got to get to it. It's just they've all been like sort of basically made private when I got hacked, and I've just got to go through and unprivate all my videos. But there's thousands of them, so it's a problem. Now who have we got? We've got Atomic Ant going in first. Let's just watch what happens here through here. We've got Sev coming in this other side, and we've got Supreme Plague. Here they come. Now they've seen the crocodile. Now we got it. So now we've actually got the fight going in. So we'll watch this one now. Why is Supreme Plague holding back? Come on, you've got to get in there and fight. The others are now coming back in. So Atomic Ant is right here. Kill the cave crocodile. Hopefully we do get through this one without any real problems. Probably what I should do is set the hospital up. Just in case. I might just quickly do that now before we actually unpause. So let's quickly go and set up a hospital. We've already got one. We've already got one hospital. Is that all we need? Just one little hospital? Yeah, that'll be okay. That'll be okay. Let's go and have a look and see what happens here. All right. So I'll just start using the full stop key or the period key and just start to step through until we start to see combat. There we go. We're seeing the first combat now. So Mace Dwarf, and I'll look at it from the cave crocodile's perspective, I think. So this is the earlier stuff that ended up happening. So the militia commander bashes a cave crocodile in the middle front foot, bruising the muscle. The force bends the right leg. So nothing much really happening just yet. Let's just keep on pressing space until we see jumping away. That one jumped out of the way. Okay, so now we've now got Sev coming in. Sev's now moved in, and the others have now moved in. Bang! Someone's just been hit. Now that's cave crocodile blood. I saw it underneath here, and I thought, uh-oh, that's not good. So I'll have a look at the cave crocodile. This is now bleeding. If we have a look at its health, it's bleeding, and the ability to stand has been somewhat impaired by the smashes to its feet, but nothing too badly damaged. So its right rear foot is broken, right rear foot is bruised. Yep, so that's actually okay. So if we go and have a look at the Mace Dwarf in through here and have a look at the cave crocodile yet again. In fact, if we go and click on the cave crocodile and just click on this, we can then sort of see we can actually then do it pause by pause. So so all we really ended up having through there is the Hammer Dwarf bashes the cave crocodile. So the militia commander is Atomic Ant, and who was the Hammer Dwarf? I forget who that was. Better find out, because that's going to be important. That is Sev. Sev, and then we've got Supreme Plague coming in down below. So the this one here, we'll go back in. Every second, you've got to do every second one, and then we'll just go and pause it. So it strikes the Hammer Dwarf, but the shot is blocked. So the militia commander jumped away. At the front leg, bruising the muscle. Bashes the cave crocodile on the right rear foot. Copper warhammer chipping the bone. Bashes the crocodile again in the leg, fracturing the bone. So this is actually the militia commander now has come back through. So Atomic Ant has come back in this one. We'll just unpause. So we can just, with that one there, we can just step through. She jumps away again. Bites the cave crocodile in the rear leg. This is the Hammer Dwarf. So this is Sev, tearing the fat and bruising the muscle, and latches on firmly with its teeth. Misses the Hammer Dwarf. The cave crocodile breaks the grip of the Hammer Dwarf's upper teeth, so it's now been able to shake it off. The Hammer Dwarf bashes the cave crocodile in the lower body, bruising the muscle and bruising the right kidney. The militia commander also now bashes the cave crocodile in the upper body with her copper mace, bruising the muscle and the left lung. Misses the militia commander. The militia commander bashes the cave crocodile in the left front foot, bruising the muscle, twists the left leg. Bashes. You know, this wasn't a good idea. I just realised if this thing comes back as a zombie, there's no way I can kill it. That's a problem. That is a problem. Okay, so we'll have to figure out what to do if this one is killed and it's not completely destroyed. Dwarf bashes the cave crocodile in the lower body. If we can do enough damage to it, we'll be able to then kill it off when it does become zombified. Okay, so bashes the cave crocodile in the lower body, bruising the muscle and tearing the lower spine's nervous tissue. So this is good stuff. It falls over, but then does miss the militia commander. Kicks the cave crocodile in the lower body. The cave crocodile looks sick. We're doing well here. Misses. Dwarf's, gee, it likes biting things, doesn't it? So Sev is a biter. So Elzar saying, I hate it when my kidney gets bruised in a fight. Oh, Serian's back. Serian is back. So the ogre is still wandering around down there, right? The ogre is on the next layer down. It's not on this current layer. So we're fairly safe on this layer, except for cave crocodiles. But the cave crocodile did kill a troll, and the troll was the thing that came back to life. So so they can be bad. So yeah, so bites did. No, Sev's still got his hammer. Breaks the grip again, so it's just being able to get him out of there. The militia commander in the rear foot, chipping the bone. So we're doing damage to it. Left rear foot, chipping the bone, and yeah, bruising the scale. I love that it actually knows that it's got scales, you know, for protection. So it jumps away again. So we're quite agile, our grouping through here. Militia commander bashes in the right foot, fracturing the bone again. So the cave crocodile won't be able to move around much. Again, bashes, bruising the muscle. Yep. So punches in the right hand, bruising the muscle there again as well. Bashes in the right foot, chipping the bone. This is good stuff. We'll just keep on going until we start to sort of see things happening through here. So in the lower body, okay, yeah, bruising the guts. Fracturing the bone there again as well. Tearing the muscle. Spear Dwarf is in here. So we've now got Supreme Plague has now entered the fray. So it does get a... tears the muscle. So this is... Spear Dwarf will be able to push things back, but also can stab. So we can start to sort of get a stab damage. So not so much... It won't shear things off, but it will actually... it will be able to sort of stab through. So in this case, we're sort of seeing the stabbing in the left front leg, tearing the muscle underneath. Misses the militia commander, bashes again with the warhammer, bashes the cave crocodile on the right foot, and the force bends the leg. Bites again with the left leg. Gee, it likes his left leg. Misses the militia commander, so bashes the cave crocodile again, just doing that one through there. Misses. Oh, hang on. So okay. So what happened here is the spear dwarf. Where was it? It's pulls on the copper spear. So the copper spear was stuck in the wound, and it did gain possession of it after pulling on it. So then we've got the bashes in the right foot, chipping the bone. So this is a good combo that we've actually got here with our guys, our three militia. Here we go. So we're now going for the head. So the commander, we're now weakened it enough to start going for the head. We fractured the skull, so that's a good start. Scratches the cave crocodile in the fifth toe, so ripping it into loose shreds. That's good stuff as well. It's still flailing back out at us. Hews the left front foot, fracturing the bone. Bites the cave crocodile in the rear foot again. Oh, now atomic ants in the action. So Sev has said, "Hey, this actually tastes pretty damn good." Stabs the cave crocodile in the left foot again. We're getting more stuff in through here. Breaks the grip of the militia commander. So the hammer dwarf bashes the cave crocodile in the upper body, and again we've got the militia commander in the rear leg. It misses again. It's still going for stuff. Spear dwarf this time. So actually now we've got Supreme Plague getting in for some chewing on the lower body this time. So they go all out, these guys. Militia commander bashes it in the lower body. Punches, stabs with the spear, scratches again, that's fine. And we're seeing now a lot more white between the actual response from the crocodile. So we stabbed it in the rear leg. Stabs a cave crocodile in the head with the copper searing them and fracturing the skull, but it's still not killed yet. So this is all good stuff. So that's 2 there for the spear dwarf. Hammer dwarf bashes in the upper body. So now having trouble breathing. This will now really severely weaken the cave crocodile. Militia commander bashes a cave crocodile in the upper body with a copper mace, bruising the muscle, jamming the right true ribs through the left lung. So yeah, now it's having even more trouble breathing. So spear dwarf stabs the cave crocodile in the left leg. So if I had unpaused this would have been over, and like we would have got to this point in like a split second, essentially. So every time I'm doing this, it's like just a few ticks, bites in the head. So we're now trying to bite and get through to the brain to kill the crocodile. Scratches again. It now looks sick, so it's still getting the lower body. It's now passed out from exhaustion. So now we have free hits with this thing. So it's essentially it's going to now be. You can see all the blood. This is all now the cave crocodile blood everywhere. Now, what I would love is to be able to butcher this thing after we finish it off. I think it'll do it automatically. I'll just go and right-click on that one. We should now see. I'm just going to unpause the game and just watch what actually happens through here. Hi, Looper Trooper. How you going? James Skinner is saying, seems to me that Hammer Dwarf wants some cave croc for dinner. Well, if we can butcher it afterwards, that's going to be fairly useful. There we go. We got it now. So they did the final thing. Looks like Sev got the final blow. So and who have we got left there? This is Sev still probably. It's chomping away on what's left, what it can find of this cave crocodile. So Looper Trooper saying, "Good. How's the fort?" Well, actually, we better find out how good this is likely to be, because if we have a final look at this, what Sev did. Okay, so bashes the cave crocodile on the head with a copper warhammer, bruising the muscle, jamming the skull through the brain and tearing the brain. We didn't crush it. And that is a problem. Yeah, if we have a bit of a look at it, I think it's going to come back to life. Now, if we go back into the fortress, just thinking about what we do. This is good. We've got this almost now completely set up. That's excellent. Where was it? So the guys have now done what they had to do. What was I going to do? I was just going to go and check on the butcher. So this is round F3. Butcher's workshop. I think what I need to do is I need to have a corpse stockpile in here. So 5 hostiles on the map. So I think I need to have a corpse stockpile to bring it in. So we'll go and do that now. And this will be corpses. But it's corpses that we will eat. So I don't want to bring corpses in for things that we won't eat. And so this is a bit dangerous doing this, particularly as we don't actually have any doors up yet. Yeah, so I'll make this a corpse stockpile, and then we'll just go to custom. And so what I have to do is just go through anything that sort of says men. I'll keep all that on for now, but the cave crocodile, I'll leave it on, and then we'll figure out what to do if we end up with this sort of more sentient type things which we won't eat back in there. Now we did have a second corpse stockpile as well. Where was that? That was further down. That was F2. No, it wasn't. It was F5. F6? No, F5. Yeah, I'll just remove that. I'll figure out what to do with this. There's a tusk from a Gorlak there. Again, I can chuck this. This is the sort of stuff we just want to get rid of. So Beacon can then just come and throw it down that location. That's all okay where that is. Okay, so with the guys, they've now sort of done what they had to do. So we'll let them sort of now come back inside. So they actually were fine with what they did. Come on, Sev. Where are you going off to? Going off to clean. Clean what? Oh, cleaning this. You don't have to clean the blood. Particularly as it may come back to life. Actually, one thing we might be able to do is go back to where we do actually have this one, the butcher shop. It's butcher an animal, extract from... Yeah, no, that's not going to do it. But we do... hopefully we can still butcher this. It will sort of do it automatically. Okay, we've still got 4 hostiles. Let's just double check that they're all outside. Yeah, they are. That's fine. So that's okay. And we should just double check and see if there's any others, because they don't show up. Yeah, the giant cave toad is underground, so we're not really going down there. It's near where we have our animals, but it can't get through. All right, we'll just go back up to out to this zone and just watch it and see if it does come back to life. Have we done enough damage to it? Yeah, no, we didn't. Here we go, guys. Here we go. So now we've got ourselves a zombie cave crocodile corpse out here. So this is, I didn't think we'd done enough. Well, what we might do is we might leave this session here, I think, and come back next week and see what happens with this cave crocodile corpse. This is now, to put that into perspective, we manage the actual cave crocodile fairly readily with our military. A cave crocodile, a zombified animal, is 3 times more deadly, 3 times more dangerous, and doesn't it doesn't need to breathe. So we ended up being able to kill it essentially because we crushed its ribs, and the ribs went through through its lungs. But this now is it's still damaged. You can see it's still bleeding heavily, but it's no longer has the requirement to bleed. To breathe. If we have a look at its health and its cannot breathe, and its ability to stand has been lost, so it can't move quickly. And that's probably the one saving grace that we have with it, is that it is badly damaged. If you look at this description, you can see there a lot of damage done to fracturing its legs. Its guts is bruised. It doesn't matter about this stuff. Its heart is gouting crocodile blood. So it's certainly pulled apart. His muscular scales are grey, his eyes are red. So I'm going to leave it here. So we've ended up with some fun next week. I don't know what we'll do with that one. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to sort of to see what we end up doing with that one. It is going to be interesting indeed. So anyway, yeah, this is actually one of these things where I'm thinking I might have to try to build some sort of wall around a portion of this, just to so that we can actually have at least an area sort of that we have access to. And it makes it, like, if we had a wall, there's no way this thing would be able to get up the wall or through the wall. Yeah, might have to think about that, I think. So we are, yeah, we're still. I mean, we need access for out here, but that's going to be interesting to see what that one actually goes after. We also have that human, remember, as well. So we actually do have the human. Tal is meditating on scholarship. Now he has to stop meditating and go out and hunt these monsters. This is technically not a monster though. This is actually now an enemy. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll catch you guys. I'll be over in Slytherin in about 2.5 hours time, and then I'll yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to stream at all today, but then tomorrow I'll be back again. I'm not sure what I'll be streaming tomorrow. I've got a few commitments with streaming, so I may do one of those. I'll see how I go. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Maybe we will play Emperor of the Fading Suns. I'll see how we go. I know a fair few of you have been asking for that. So